Hey, what's up, people? Good evening to every one of you watching right now. My name is Highland Wolf, and you are joined by not only me, but also by the absolutely beautiful Professor Tarzan as we cast tonight's Hate PMCO EU Wildcard Scrims. How are you doing, my man, this evening?
I'm so hyped right now. Oh my god, I miss casting these teams. You know, we've casted some of them in the past month for sure, right? We've got some PMCO leagues, we've got different tournaments, pro scrims, and tonight is just a great time to do it because we've got the group stages of PMCO coming up, guys. Next week on the 16th, that will be the start of it. Such a pleasure to join by, of course, my very favorite person, Highland Wolf, and of course with all these teams as well. And we should probably just go through the teams. As you can see on the screen, so many of those experienced teams, Highland Wolf.
Yeah, of course, we have 21 teams here in the roster tonight, and we're going to be starting off with Hate Gaming EU, Bloodline, Unicorns of Love, Conqueror. Obviously, Bloodline, Unicorns of Love, Conqueror are 3 PMPL teams here coming to join us tonight. We've also got Panda, RozAvlea, FASTboys, Entropiq, Gaijin, GSG Europe, Daos Legion, Shoot to Kill, ScrimFarm, BeMyLoot, Mixed Squad, Lakonostra Power, 4 Romanian Men, Lakonostra Ice, and Teacher Team as well, which is not on the thing, but they are in the lobby, so we're going to see them in tonight's games.
And that is quick mats up to the 21st slot. That gives us, oh my god, my brain, 19 teams. Come on. Okay, of course I've got that one. And these are some very, very strong teams. We've seen so many of them playing, like you said, in PMPL. So many PMCO finalist teams as well. And let's bear in mind, some names you are not quite used to, right, guys? For example, Conqueror. But we've got some previous PMPL players in there, and you may notice names like Reeves, who used to play under Godsend. So now a new roster, new season, new life, new chemistry, and that will be a new split as well. Gonna be a very exciting one, Highland Wolf.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, we do have, teams like I want to draw your attention to the side of Lakonostra Ice on that list. And taking note that they actually just won, I believe it was today's scrims. Oh no, it was yesterday's scrims, excuse me. In first position on yesterday's Hate Pro scrims. And also keep in mind that we also got teams like Unicorns of Love there as well, who managed to nick up a second position as well as a chicken dinner in yesterday's games. If you've not go see them, they will be up. I believe it's Imperium's stream channel, but of course you're all here on Tarzan's YouTube because that's where the real spiciness is. That's where my boy Tarzan is actually at here just now. You know, the bromance is real, man. I promise you.
Of course. But there are also teams, you know, and with that are quite interesting because we don't see them like as frequently. The past split maybe is new teams with players who were experienced. For example, the side of Roz here. RozAvlea is the name, maybe? I don't know what language that is, but the clan tag is Roz and Roz Squad. I've had experience working with them, so this will be very exciting to see what team they put through the side Entropiq. Looking forward to see what they can do as well. And as we speak, the game is about to start. We have 4 games tonight, guys, and we start with, I actually didn't quite know the map orders, but we are going to find out. If I just make my educated guess, it should be 4 maps, starting with Erangel, followed by Miramar, Sanhok, then back to Erangel. Okay, that was just my educated guess. I think I should be about right.
Oh my god, he's so pro!
Hey, of course,
there
my
we
man,
go.
of course.
Yeah.
What do you think about this one? And I mean, based on your experience or your pictorial memory of casting these teams the past period, what can you say about the drop spots, for example?
Oh, so for me, for drop spots, oh man, you are testing me tonight. How dare you? For me, I think what I've noticed in previous Hate scrims, with certainly casting with, of course, the wonderful Imperium, teams like to obviously go for the usual South Island if possible, but also not only that, but towards the eastern side. I find that teams, if possible, will always go towards the farm, the Milta Power areas, and obviously the central belt of Pachinki and Rozhok, in those sort of areas alike. We obviously do get to go jump in now and see the playing path for game number 1, and I think it will be towards, as we mentioned, that South Island, towards those farm Milta Power areas for those teams, which they will be dropping in, as well as keep in mind, because of how this playing path is, we're going to see it over that Primorsk and Quarry area, see teams potentially drop there too.
So playing path from Primorsk to Lipovka, basically a southern playing path. You know what? I'm going to answer my own question. I think Hate Gaming heading towards Rozhok area, Bloodline either goes to a southern island or the western coast. Unicorns of Love should go for a Gatka drop. Ross, I'm not quite sure. Just going down that list, and ScrimFarm will drop around Shelter, Prison, or mansion area, I think. Panda either goes for Primorsk or Farm. Oh, they actually dropped it already. I just missed that. I was trying to show off, but those are predictions as well, man. So, we'll see what they do. And for Romanian Men, going for the usual drop spots on those coastal compound there. And we just need to see what else, what other teams will do. And Hate Gaming actually going for a little bit of different one. I love seeing that. But I mean, Rozhok being a little bit further, they will now go for the Sosnovka military base drop, and being the only team heading for that southern island.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, of course, how the actual side, of course, of Hate will actually move out of the South Island and into the rest of these teams, because you particularly notice, of course, many of these teams going to be dropping around that farm and Milta Power area as we anticipated moving into this first game. Of course, we do see, of course, Fast and QXM making their moves towards the farm area, and that's actually going to complement these teams more so than those on the far east side, because as zone as well here, Tarzan has moved far over to the west, and it's going to be a bloodbath, I'm telling you, getting into these first phase zone for these teams over on that eastern side.
I mean, it's going to complement the first half of that playing path, this phase 1 circle, so that's good news for a lot of these teams. Oh, look at these teams going for some further drops as well. We see the sign of Gaijin here alongside Ross, and Daos Legion dropping to Yasnaya, Polyana, but we know how big the city is. We can contain all of that. Look at Bloodline adapting to it as well, now very close to ScrimFarm, and the side of Conqueror, I mean, with some old players off, of Godsend, I should say. Not surprised for them to take this oat farm drop as they take a good early kill. Wait, what? Okay, no. So we've got a good knock, but good finish as well. So the support needs to now come in to finish what they've started. Reeves is trying to 1v2 right now, but he just get traded in this farm area, but the support is now coming in.
Yeah, FASTboys are just obliterating through the side of Conqueror right now. PMPL team or not, the side of FASTboys just do not care, but they will actually try to take back the turf themselves here as the trades go even further, as well as Bloodline fighting against ScrimFarm, but AZ takes down Jury as well now on that north side of the farm area, and this blood path just ensuing now is Vitoni, the only one alive for the side of Fast right now. Is CLW out of position and likely will go down here to the side of Conqueror.
DBS OP, man, but you know who else is OP? Bloodline. They didn't go for either of those drops that I've seen them before. They are just here to contest this drop with ScrimFarm. ScrimFarm lost 2 already. Naya and Unique really need to make this work. The numbers advantage for sure goes over to Bloodline, but of course, as Aethys here is trying to hold this down, the rest of the team still need to come in as Aethys. No, all in is the person, and Aethys just inside shelter, not being able to trade that. It will be a 2-for-1 for now.
Yeah, for now, right now, stuck inside, stuck away from his team, and this is where Bloodline struggled at the start of this game, of course, because Aethys was on his own. It was a smart idea that All-In will rotate to help out Aethys in his early stage of the game, seeing how he was out of position for the side of his team versus, of course, ScrimFarm, but not quick enough, does get caught in the entrance. They lose one, as well as you see that fight going back over to Farm will be finished off as Conqueror take the control of that area, but do lose one member. Keep in mind, Reeves is out of the game, so that will make it a little bit harder for them to take future fights if they get caught going further into the zone later on.
Well, after all, I mean, it sucks, right? And the DBS OP, by the way, I'm just going to say it the second time. No shame. There's like 3 knocks with that. And almost a clean wipe with the DBS. That would be a highlight. And but yeah, they took that one. And FASTboys fast die for this game one as they went out at 19th place. But you know what else is interesting? This Gatka control here. Unicorns of Love got some... challenger right here. This guy side of it. I don't even know the clan type anymore. That's going to be shoot to kill. Shoot to kill, losing 2.
Yeah, shoot to kill, do lose 2 members there, and unfortunately for them, they just weren't prepared for this side on the aggression of Unicorns of Love diving in over that Gatka compound. And even surprising as well, because Fresh, there wasn't even a fight, but we didn't even need him to take down 2 kills. They will pick up a double for their efforts, as well as I'm interested to see the rotations around actually Yasnai Polyana. We don't see the fights going to be breaking out for now. What actually is happening here around the side of Yasnai Polyana, as we see the side of RozAvlea and also Gaijin separating out a compound, looking to make that quick rotation in, because they recognize, of course, that they are further away from the zone compared to most teams potentially, and they don't want to be caught here going across those roads into the zone from the school area or through Potato Hill and into the Pachinki side.
Yeah, obviously the Yasnai Polyana situation needs to slowly get resolved. I don't know how much they are going to stay in there, for how long. There needs to be a way to rotate. That looks pretty close, right? But it's further than we think. So those awareness when it comes to vehicle spawns will be very important as well. And another team further from the zone is BeMyLoot, who dropped at Lipovka. They are now starting to make their way in, can avoid a little bit of that congestion around that coastline on that main island, as we see the side of Hate Gamer actually going to scout that eastern bridge. Really, really interesting choice there. I thought they could have just avoided that congestion on that eastern side of the circle and just go for the western bridge, but they seem to have another plan.
Yeah, it's interesting because of how that playing path was. You would expect them to go to that western side, considering that potentially teams would be dropping around the farming military area. I think they were also anticipating teams would be dropping a lot towards this western side area, just because of how that zone was very southern for these teams to be along that coastline. So they are just hedging their bets. Unfortunately, they obviously do go for the wrong one here, but Jaja refuses to be caught out, and this is what I mentioned about the side of Conqueror here being now weakened from that previous fight, and they take advantage of it as they find one, and also now Marley will fall down as well. That will be a double, as now Vito the only one alive, but he's nowhere really to be seen here because he's already dipped over to get back into the zone.
What a rough one. I thought with some compound control, right? Like, think about that compound there, Island Wolf. If you hold it, you should be able to choke rotation out. But that was actually Hate Gaming first doing a move of rotation that we didn't expect, and then making it work against the team that's holding down the compound. And also interesting to note that Jaja, you know, this player went from ScrimFarm to a team called Sweet Chili Sensations, and now with Hate Gaming, this pre-group stage phase is so interesting, especially for these invited teams. They get to change their rosters, and this is when new chemistry comes in. It's going to be so interesting. Hate Gaming, without their usual IGL Mihi, they are playing pretty good so far.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with how they pull off that rotation. They stick together, importantly, and that's how it was so effective. But even though Jaja is, we also see the side of Vito almost go down. Sliver of health keeps himself alive behind the car, but has to get away from that vehicle. It will blow up and it will murder him into the ground if he doesn't pull off those smokes, pull off that first aid kit, and keep himself alive. But it's not long enough, because inside the smoke, he will perish, and that will be the entire side of Conqueror eliminated out of this game number.
Pretty clean there with the pincer formation, but like I said, I don't think it should have happened that way for the start of Conqueror. So they need to go back and have a think about that. Maybe it's still a bit of a half-hearted situation there, whether we continue to loot that or do we hold that down that compound to choke rotations. And but they've got some time to talk about that as they went out at 18th place. Around the area still, also I should say, in the area on the western farm compounds, we have Gaijin here holding a pretty good spot and can choke some teams coming in, but little do they know that basically all those teams off the eastern edge of the circle has now rotated other than the side of Bloodline.
Yeah, of course, Unicorns of Love here as well. Keep in mind, over on that Gatka side of Erangel are trying to pick up some more kills as they're going to head now towards the actual side of Mixed Squad and try to take them down as well. Make it a second team for their efforts as they pull out the bullets to try find one over the wall. They have already taken down one earlier to start the engage on this fight, as they of course did knock up to Turito, and that will make it super difficult here because you see this 2-1-1 split broken apart by their middle man.
Agon's just sending it in, maybe trying to bait some shots there, but they just want to capitalize on this, on that one knot. Look at that! Just forcing rotations out, and that is Unicorns of Love playing it aggressive, but also decisive. Ket is now pushing in with Agon.
You see two members here as Cower comes through the back window trying to escape over the wall, but it is decided Unicorns of Love keeping up the pressure as Ked comes from the flank side, looking to try peek his head over, take the shots, doesn't realize, almost blows himself up with a grenade. Cow gets caught by the rotation from the flank side by Ked, will fall down, make it a triple now as they will lose their third member, Cow. But keep in mind, Turito all this time has been revived, so it still is two members. And there is now this gap here between the two mini compounds of Unicorns of Love and where Mixed Squad stand.
Just get the hell out, man. Like, they've got that buggy, they can just use one smoke and just start scouting away. Even if they just need to send themselves into the chopsticks, I think that's one way to go. It's time to analyze and make a quick move. But that also makes my point a bit interesting, because Unicorns, if they know this position, they can maybe just capitalize on this, but they didn't catch the rotation from the last duo of Mixed Squad, so they would just hold that compound as that trio after losing that one player early. And yeah, team starts to establish some of the grounds of control in the circle, and of course the side of Gaijin still need to come in some congestion on the eastern side still, as the circle continues to go towards the western side.
Yeah, it is, keep in mind, an interesting position as well, actually. I quite like for the side of Romanian Men, as well, actually, for the side of Entropiq here. They got this position on the high ground. They've got a position over on the coastline, waiting for these teams, as you see, like Hate, like Gaijin, rotating in from that eastern side, coming along that main roadside. And keep in mind, even teams, of course, like Lakonostra Ice will have to come into both of these enemy squads. So it is a good position here. Also keep in mind vision of the side behind you, of the fields behind you. But we do see, keep in mind, inside the fields, Mix just struggling right now to hold off Unicorns of Love. They did manage to find one note onto Ked, and here comes Lakonostra Power. The distraction here as they go for a 2-2 split to try clean up this fight.
This is very possible. Just that flank round, Lakonostra can just pinch the side of Unicorns, so they have to pull the trigger now, 2-2 to get knocked. But look at the Lakonostra pincer formation. The 2-2 trying to just farm these two kills right now. These two teams, I'm sorry. And that is just very, very possible.
You see, Savage almost goes down. Will finally take the knock, as it will be Islo to fire that one up, but it will be Argon jumps over the fence just to catch back in return, and that will be the entire side of Mixed Squad out of the game. But Unicorns of Love are in dire need of some form of escape right now, because it is all of them low, one still down needing to be revived, and all the while here Lakonostra Power are just closing in their hands to grasp onto the hands of the Unicorns.
You know what I think, Highland? I think Lakonostra, I think this is Lakonostra Power, yeah? Like, because they've got two teams, if my memory serves me correctly, I think they missed out on an opportunity to third-party this. They could have just sent it in. They've got these good 2-2, they can just pull around this. They know if they just keep an eye on that kill feed, they had that window to capitalize, but now they will still have a little bit of a man advantage. The 2-2 split may still work in their favor, so I will just let that one slide for now.
as well, though, on the eastern side, still Gaijin and Bloodline on this map. You see them now separating. They do get out. Thankfully, I thought they were looking for Bloodline. I think we're looking to try take that aggression. They came out their vehicle with Kapahala rotating in, but we don't go for the full fight because Kapahala isn't quite there. Smart decision. Keep it safe for now. You are outside the zone. You don't want to start a fight right now with that blue zone starting to close in, albeit only phase 1. And I am still interested to see where these teams are positioning right now. Where for you is the strongest position for these teams?
The sign of SKT here is STK is the name, and they've lost 2 members early, as we saw, and they are now just holding this last building here on that northern edge, as this is just one out of so many spots that these teams have claimed. Just look at the split right there. Very beautiful rainbow across this phase 2 circle. I love the position of Panda. They've dropped pretty much the left 2 to stop rotations coming from that main road, very PM main road, but they also left 2 on the high ground to the south of Quarry to stop these teams who are trying to make a wide rotation on that western coastline. Now, Daos Legion on top of these last duo of Shoot to Kill, STK, they may be able to get something. Vazzy slowly scouting in, trying to pick up more information using that ridge line.
Yeah, you of course see STK, here, just pinned completely by Vasi on the outside. Almost will actually find one, but it will be to the hands of AWMDTT as they will take down Delis. And now comes Nadi as well.
It's go time.
Looks like they will go for the revive for now, but it will be Delis on a time bomb here. Is decided Daos Legion look to take control of this squad. As Nadi now comes around the floor, almost gets grenaded, but comes from the other side. AWM picking up a double, and he'll just close in around him and pick up the loot and move down further into the center of this zone. Because this zone here, oh boy, it's a shift.
Oh my god, look at those. That circle forcing all the team to leave the main Gatka area. Same for the chopsticks, that's basically gone. So all the hilly area just to the south of the Gatka chopsticks will be out of play, forcing them to these open grounds. So I'm just saying it right here, right now, Highland Wolf. I think 80% of that end circle will be in these open fields. So it's about hay bales, it's about smokes, it's about cars, and it's about rotations for now, as Teacher lost one to Ross.
Even in the chopsticks here as well, Tarzan, you see Naya for the side of ScrimFarm. They allowed Ked out into the chopsticks and just made noodles at the side of ScrimFarm. Also, it will be Hate losing 2 on the south side. We talked about that strong position of the side of Entropiq here, and they are picking up work of kills here as they try to take just a complete storm over the side of Hate Gaming right now, picking off 2 kills, only for 1 knock. Do keep him alive. We'll make that revive, and Hate now struggling still to make it through that main road with more teams to go.
And that will be ScrimFarm done. I thought Ket was just toying with his foot there. I thought he has an angle on the last player of ScrimFarm, but nonetheless, that will be the business finished. But they did lose some time, but we have some clash on this northwestern edge between BeMyLoot, the full team up here still clashing with Lakonostra.
Noya with a blue car coming in to try take control over Lakonostra Power. They tried to take control earlier in the corners of Love, but the side of BeMyLoot, they're just not having any of it here for the side of Tarzan, because I think they are looking to try to take dominance over this high ground as they make their way through Lakonostra Power. Baba will fall down, and also now GSG ahead of them are looking for that to being that next meal for them here. But down on the center of this zone, it is all about the side now. Panda moving in, have lost 1 as Teacher tried to fire back on the beachfront.
It's just so much control coming from these ridge lines. It's just getting more and more congested. Sometimes, hardcovers, it's just a strong love-hate with those things. It's so predictable where you're going to peak. But just look at that finishing. The business GSG Europe has the position, and Lakonostra was screwed. And just look at TJ here trying to play those newly developed parts of Erangel 2.0 around this very pier. So many broken DMs and terrains, and that will be shared between Panda and Teacher.
Yeah, I want to keep a mind on this position right now. Of course, keep in mind the kill feed is going over. You should actually see Bloodline taking a knock onto Buster. We'll finish him off on that north ground as his zone closes in. BeMyLoot also taking on Daos Legion over on that northern side as they find now a second knock onto Daos, just picking them apart on them coming up onto that high ground hill and just deleting them out of this game right now. BeMyLoot are just making a loot boxes to the side of Daos Legion, but they will not be done just yet as Sava trying to find a double, jumps over the hill to try dodge out the bullets, but it won't be enough. BeMyLoot will keep all 4 players alive and it will keep themselves in this game, but it is a work to go towards this final third phase zone here because this now fourth phase, here has closed in further around the center, and that's going to favor the likes of 4 Romanian men who have all the meanwhile here, Tarzan, held onto that main high hill.
What did I say? What did I say about the finishing circles? What did I say? I think it will be this type of circle, and I was right. That will also give a lot of control over to both GSG Europe and 4 Romanian men. And but also, let's not forget about Bloodline. They've been just fragging their way in, although they didn't have a spot in the circle, yet they would just push their way through. Ace is now sending to get that push and to bait some peek coming from Paul, and that will be him just crashing and finishing that squad right there. Roz is out at 12.
Also keep in mind, though, they are outside this zone. Don't want to hang around here for too long, because just look ahead of him here. You see Entropiq positioning towards the edge of that zone, maybe looking to actually fire through this rotation with Bloodline here to come into this zone, catch him out on their rotation and get a couple kills. But you actually see they will also have to be careful of deciding Newick here, potentially out of position, get Sands for the secondary aid here as they take on 4 Romanian men on this high ground. Also keep in mind, on the kill feed, BeMyLoot will lose 1. Is Shadow on the opposite end of this map will look to struggle. The whole of BeMyLoot split apart on their rotation, getting picked apart by teams in that western front.
Panda's been holding this spot for a while now, playing the southwestern edge. Will get Crash and punish Bertie for that. There's more coming in. The side of Panda need to come in. The pincer formation need to work even better. They are trying to take 1 or 2 down, but they still need to rotate. And GSG Europe, meanwhile, holding one of the strongest compounds in their Bloodline, getting heavily punished on rotation, down to Kapahala.
Teachers just not having any of it for a 21 team here, not even on the team list. They are making themselves known as Teachers are just trying their best. They find one onto BeMyLoot, but will be caught in a hard rock in a hard place here because they are now being fired upon by the side of Lakonostra. And it will be Teachers now stuck inside the shack. They will take control of the rest of BeMyLoot, but they are not out of the danger yet. The frying pan is their position, and they need to go into the fire here, Tarzan, of this zone, because look at this zone once again, just high up north, and all of these teams need to come up.
GSG Europe has made their bet, and it worked out for them. Unicorns of Love have such a strong game. 11 kills right now, but they don't have a position in the circle. They don't have a healthy car. It's healthy for now, but I don't think it will be protected for long enough. So for Romanian men, bet on that spot and will just hold it for now. But GSG, as you said, just getting crashed right now by the side of Lakonostra.
Levi on the second floor comes down onto the stairs, tries to find one, but won't find anything for his troubles yet. He will have to reload here. Comes back down for a second shot. Won't find him, but it will be decided Lakonostra will find him. But here come the rest of GSG. Will find Gold Touch, and now GSG will lose Levi, though, in return. And it will now also be GSG Kamara coming in for the potential support to try pick off one Lakonostra coming out of that building. The grenade goes in, actually make it a Molotov, but won't go through the window, won't do any damage. He uses Annalie, so just pinning and pinchering the side of Lakonostra as they now lose another, as Elod will be picked off in the balcony.
3-way fight now. Panda also joined the area. This is going to be so tricky. A lot of standoff in these compounds, also giving a little bit of breathing room to all those teams who are trying to rotate in the open on the eastern side of this new circle.
I'm interested here as well. Keep in mind the positioning of actually Gaijin moving in as he actually just lose Cray. Keep that now in a little bit of trouble because they will lose Cray outside the zone. Cray will be taken out, and now we've only got Sengui to move in here. Kamara will also delete them where they stand, hopefully with the grenades, but won't find any. Just falls a little bit short, just tickles him just a little bit here, Tarzan. And you see actually Hate here as well, going to get crushed by a bad zone alongside Teachers. Blue zone just comes in even further. 4 Romanian Men trying to take control over the other side of this map. As a blue zone comes in, they're positioning, they keep themselves alive. They don't lose too much here, as they do get a bunch of kills for their troubles, as Teachers will fall down where they stand. 8 teams remaining here. Still that compound where all of the action can break out.
Oh, look at this Nick shift, though. Look at all these teams relying on the sense of security in these compounds, just piling up their cars, etc. as well. This is the time that they need it, because the circle will shift away from it. This will heavily benefit the teams on the outside with some ridge. Looking for Romanian Men. They may be able to put some pressure there before rotating, but Panda's trying to make some move and clear some teams out before they need to make this rotation.
Yeah, and Alito just getting smashed. Good morning to you, says the Panda, says they will try take one, but in return, Lakonostra throw the grenade through the window. They're trying to find a second here onto T, and now Pandas are split 2-2, as they will almost lose another. As a grenade goes in to the window, but won't find its target. Here come the smokes as Lakonostra look to make their assault into now the phase 6 zone. Meanwhile, no real teams inside the zone. You see 4 Romanian Men, and Bot will be their scout, will make it in for now. Hides himself behind Haystack and will keep himself alive. Kapahala, really the only player here for the side of Bloodline, but he is inside the zone. Could keep himself alive here.
And the blue zone slowly coming in. There's Lakonostra trying to make some movement. Panda one step behind, maybe trying to shoot them out. Look at all these players. Choke on the outside. 1 knock, 2 knock, 3 knock happening all at the same time on this western side, Highland Wolf.
You see T in the side of Pandas here trying their best, but also come in Unicorns of Love because they are wanting a position in this zone. As Savage and Ked will not be denied just yet alongside Aegon for that 2-1 split. Or meanwhile, GSG just going to tick themselves away inside the blue zone. They will fall down with time. And now it will be Lakonostra here, managing to keep themselves in the zone. For now, Pandas on the edge, though not so lucky. Unicorns of Love, Savage will find one onto T, slow their assault down as phase 7 here will strike out. Kavala comes out the shed though, looks to try find one, but won't find any just yet. Bot here, protected by the smoke.
Oh my god, just Unicorns of Love took the bet and they just won. They didn't just take the circle, they took the wipe, spraying into smokes. The Pandas will be out. That was the 14th kill for the Unicorns. What the hell, man?
You see Lakonostra here on their 1-1 split, needing to try and make it in further potentially. You see the aggressive smoke from Gold Touch, trying also to deny the way the vision here of Unicorns of Love as they move their way close into zone with their own smoke road. And they also need to get inside the zone, so it's going to be a little bit trickier for them. Also coming inside the zone though, keep in mind Kapahala and the side of Mbot, because Lakonostra are split here, they could suffer losses if the side of these flank players, these solo players, come in to try upset.
Well, like I said, this time of the circle is what I predicted a bit earlier, so I'm just gonna give myself a small compliment here. But look at just the way that we need to play this one. The available covers are so limited, and they don't even want to stand up, and that is Agon just tanking, almost getting knocked there. Just made it in though. We'll lose that backpack for good measures as we continue, but that will be a knock.
Savage will go down, and that will make it just 2 more remaining members for Unicorns of Love. Doubt they will be revived for being out of position here against Lakonostra Power. Get caught as they move side into the zone. And now we Gold Touch still alive, but Mbot will find Kapahala. Will not get themselves into the zone safely. On the other side, though, Unicorns of Love strike back, take down Elod, and this is where we talked. Actually, no, Elod, excuse me, will actually find Savage. And that will be 1 taken out. Aegon and Ked will be just 2 remaining. Look at a grenade and Molotov going down onto Elod, but won't quite find any just yet. It will now be Mbot going down as Ked will take that kill away for the side of Unicorns of Love.
2v2.
He's on 2/3 HP. Gold Touch flying through the smoke, trying to find Ked. Aegon, all the meanwhile, trying to run his way, crawl his way, albeit away from that phase 8 zone. They wants his booty, but it will be Aegon now, keeping himself alive as he keeps his way through the grass. Elod going low, almost goes down. Aegon firing through the phase 8 zone, will find a shot, and now it will be 2 versus 1 as Gold Touch keeping himself alive, but the smoke dissipates, and now he will be vulnerable, but takes down Ked. The smoke comes up, and Gold Touch back into safety. 1 versus 1. Gold Touch going round. The car blows up, but Gold Touch goes a little bit through, further to the zone. The fires through the smoke, but Gold Touch won't be found just yet. Aegon still alive behind this haystack.
Just very slowly, Ked trying to scout, but that will be that strike, and that will be it.
And it will be the side of Lakonostra Power taking down the 6 kills and the chicken dinner here in game number 1. They will be the victors for the first match. Oh, that was a tense stalemate of a game there, Tarzan.
Dude, only if my device and this frigging game allows me to watch what's going on. I don't know whether you saw that there. The second they tried to go into ADS, man, the whole camera just flipped away and saw 2 floating guns, and that would be a little bit of a sad one, but doesn't stop us from enjoying how that was done. Lakonostra held it down, like you said, and the unicorns, oh my god, imagine taking first place. Dude, that would be so many kills, but they still got 15 with that second place, and that is just a hell of a game for them, for Romanian Men. Played the slow early game as a trio, but look at I'm bot there showing you, it's just complete sarcasm. He's no bot, no chance for him doing that one there. He got all those 5 kills for the 4 Romanian Men, making it to the 3rd place. And in 4th position, we have Bloodline with 7 kills. Panda, 5 kills in the 5th position, playing slow along that southwestern side, the area that they know very well about. GSG Europe will take that 6th place with 4 kills. Side of no, it's not 4 kills. Is that 4 kills? Oh my god, they are doing my head in. The next guy is for Hate Gaming. So yes, that is 4 kills, and that was actually Hate Gaming. Hate Gaming's player chatter there, taking 3 and 3-2-2, altogether 7 kills for Hate Gaming with that 7th place finish. Gaijin with no kills and an 8th place finish. Side of Entropiq with a 9th place finish with 2 kills.
You see Teachers there in 10th position will take 2, only a trio, but do manage to pull off a top 10 finish. BeMyLoot will also take 11th position with 6. And you see the side of Roz there will take up 12 with 1 kill. Daos Legion will have 13 with also 2 kills. Side Lakonostra will Lakonostra Ice, I do believe, here will take up 14th. ScrimFarm in 15th with 1. It will be STK in 16th with 0. Mix will take up 17th with 1. You see inside a Conqueror, unfortunately, then 18th with 4 kills, and Fast in the rear with only 1 solo kill.
That is game 1, guys. We're going to go on a short break. We'll have a chat before we get the second game going, but we will be back soon, so don't look away. It's going to stay insane. I'll see you guys on the desert on Miramar.
Hey everyone, welcome back to now. We're on game number 2 for the side of the Hate PMCO EU wildcard scrims, excuse me, here as we get, as we say, on to Miramar coming up for game number 2. If you just missed it, you just missed out on game number 1 here on Orangle, where the side of Lakonostra Power just smashed through in a long, intense fight over Unicorns of Love. But I mean, that's in the past. What is in the present is me, Highland Wolf here, your caster, joined, of course, by Professor Tarzan here as well, my beautiful co-caster.
Oh, thank you so much. This is developing well, our relationship, and I'm liking it. I'm liking it so much. As we go into game 2, we will have some Miramar action. Look at all these teams, so many names that we know, and let's just mention Unicorns of Love and what they've done in that game. Of course, the circle was in their favors towards the end game, but I mean, 15 kills, man. That is so... kill points alone, they've outranked so many teams tonight so far.
Kill points alone, they've got a chicken dinner.
Exactly.
That's how insane it was. They picked up essentially their own chicken dinner. Lakonostra here just couldn't get the real one though, coming home for that Saturday roast, as they got pit to post, of course, by Unicorns of Love, who are also sitting pretty, of course, after that first game, because, oh boy, that was a tense fight. But what I think got, the Unicorns of Love here, their chicken dinner, was their positioning towards those final zones.
They know the control and the rotations. They know they shouldn't go too far in to give themselves some possibilities in the late game. And I appreciate that. Seems like it worked out for them as we have this game 2, seeing not just Unicorns, but the other 4 teams to see what they can do. The playing path going from Minas del Sur through La Grilera, all the way to that Oasis there that I kind of want to see someone drop, but this Western playing path, I am very desperate. I haven't had enough. I had that island finish with Imperium the other day, and I am a greedy little boy, man, and this Western playing path can really add some spice to it, making positions like Los Leones quite hard to reach. Same for all those positions, for example, Minas Generalis, El Azhar, Cristoval, just about enough distance for these teams to make it in with some brilliant parachuting skills. But if they like Campo Militar, although we don't see that quite enough, that is going to be a little bit too far for now.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's better than my parachuting skills. As always here, Tarzan dropping into Miramar for game number 2. And of course, it obviously is the likes of Picado Hill, obviously Opozo, and that south bank around Miramar here, going to be moving around into the center from that south road along the coastline that teams will be really congesting and fighting over. You see multiple teams here, particularly Bloodline, as well as FASTboys, and also the side of Hate going to be dropping around that central belt. But inside here, the other area of the map here will be Unicorns of Love taking down Roz for the first blood just south in Chumacera.
I mean, the side of Roz should know this. Unicorns of Love dropped the south high hill side of Chumacera again and again. This is just their spot. If you're going to come in and contest and to compete, you need to have a very solid plan, but that hasn't been going so well for them, getting pushed away and losing one pretty early. And the phase 1 circle will actually be on that western side, so pretty much complementing the playing path. As this fight continues, the rest of the lobby will find the spot, like you mentioned, Highland Wolf, some split, 4x1 split coming from Bloodline around this Picado Hill. And we also have some contests on some other interesting spot, for example, El Pot. So we've got ScrimFarm and Panda there trying to make some early action. Buster here now need to make this work, holding down against the push. Will get one brilliant knock onto Ked.
You see Ked will drop right now, but Buster is dangerously low as Argon wants to come into that building, take the shots to finish him off, and return that 1-for-1 trade. But Buster will not go down, and the patience will come out from both teams as Buster retreats, jump back to his team, and Ked will be revived. But Buster not so quick on his feet, though, as Savage will find that knock in return now, and that from that rooftop, and Buster will fall down. As you also see on the other side, just down to the outside of the hills of Chumacera, it will be ST Key fighting now over Gaijin, as Gaijin will pick up 1 kill on Sonati.
Oh my god. Look at this. I mean, I just can't chew it for now. The side of Roz just doesn't look like they know how to play this, or I should say Unicorns being really, really good at that. Like you mentioned, all those action happening around, and but let's not forget about El Pozzo. We've seen so many El Pozzo drop recently, High Level, and this is now Panda in here with ScrimFarm and already lost Ligne very early on, and ScrimFarm will have some early access to the hillside as well, to the northeastern side.
Yeah, it's an interesting here to split for the side of ScrimFarm, but what is the nail in the coffin potentially here for the side of ScrimFarm is first on this rooftop of the 4-stack. Going to have vision over any recuperation of the side of ScrimFarm squad, as well as you see Yiz on the other side going to be sniping down on top of them if they try and make a straight return across that road, or try go from behind for a little bit of a sneaky rotation back together. But still, as we mentioned earlier, this fight going to be coming through for the side of STK and Gaijin, finally going to now, I think, subside. As you see, finally the damage has been done with Lino also going down. Shoot to kill, say, okay, we've had enough of this early game bullying, and we will find a new position to try loot up, because Gaijin are just doing the damage right now. Pick up double kills to start off their second match.
I think the side of Gaijin didn't even take a single kill last game, so with 2 to start, this is very good. Very
Fresh
good.
just kill himself? Did
Exactly.
he just cook himself into the oven? Like,
Speaking of momentum, right? Like, why would they do that? Maybe he's busy. The pizza has arrived, he said, and that is Unicorns losing 1 for pizza reasons, I'd say.
Maybe
Burrito.
he is a pizza. Put him on at 180 for 30 minutes.
Well, speaking
Cook
of
it real
pizza,
fast.
I do believe there's a player in here with the name leading with pizza, and that is correct as we bring ourselves over to Entropiq, and they will be having no contest. That is a Valdemar drop, and let's talk about this position, right? So if there's no contest, it's pretty decent, wealthy loot, access to multiple main roads, but they're not in the circle right now, so they just need to know how to play that area, so that will be them very close to the circle. Also, for the teams outside of the circle, we have GSG Europe on the southwestern side of Los Leones. Split right now, no contest so far. Close to them, we've got some players pushed away from Chimicera from the side of Roz. And also outside the circle, very interesting and potential fight. A 2-2 split from Conqueror between Tor Armada and Cruz del Val. And those two in Cruz del Val will be facing the full team of BeMyLoot.
Yeah, it's an interesting split here. You see Marley now with the smoke road, looking to try recoup with Azzy. Azzy won't take the smoke road, though. He's going to go behind a wall for now, and I think now he's going to come back and use those smokes. I think they will just be screen shields here for the side of Conqueror to get themselves across. They obviously came off that disappointing game number 1 as well here, so they're going to need to come up with a better performance, and I think they do really need to get this whole team together, because Marley almost goes down, crossing over behind that car, and they almost lose 1 for their troubles. Azzy is up front, but it's not going to be easy to hold off, nearly impossible to hold off 3 different angles as just a 1 player.
BeMyLoot can capitalize on this. They just need to play it reactive at the same time, whilst looking at those 2 from Conqueror in the city need to wait and look out for those flank from the other duos. Now sending it in is Vito coming on to that eastern side with plenty of high ground, even like high ground upon high ground, higher than the church itself, and he will be trying to look for this off angle with that flank. Will find some angles onto Bertie, open fires, but will not be able to land. Quite hard to control that 3 times on the AK-47.
Yeah, for now, maybe doesn't have the gun he wants to get those direct shots on target, but Bertie will stay alive, and that is crucial as well. Keep in mind for BeMyLoot, because Bertie is the core player going to be holding off that entire road for this fight for the duration in favor of BeMyLoot. But all the meanwhile, down in the Picado Hill, we did actually see Bloodline lose 1 as Alan got caught out as they come together to the side of FASTboys, and they will pick up 1 solo kill for themselves, controlling that power grid compound and looking still over the side of Apis, who could potentially be caught out if they find that line of sight onto it.
And this time to rotate as he and Kapahala both trying to rotate towards Burian will try to pull away, center up a little bit more, gather the firepower. We've seen Bloodline play this split many times, but not always working out for them. So this is them learning the lesson and which control the spot and may get some sightlines onto ScrimFarm, who's rotating onto this mountain on the northern side. But BeMyLoot might be striking right now. I think that might be some internet issues happening for Highland Wood, but I can take over. But look at this, Conqueror is getting pushed right now. The second knock on to themselves. BeMyLoot will flush one. The other player of Conqueror slowly bleeding out. The new plan B need to come through from the side of Reeves and Vito, but they just send it into the city support just to find the two teammates getting absolutely murdered.
Yeah, Marley there will join the graveyard for his teammate as well as Conqueror will lose to you also losing Azzy on that roadside. And this is what we talked about with Bertie on that high ground here, Professor Tarzan. You saw that he had that angle on the roadside, made it super difficult and actually brought time for the side of rest of BeMyLoot to come in as that free man and really put the pressure. They get those 2 kills. Also, not quick enough in a rotation for Vito or Reeves. Now also just put them in danger. But down on the other side, it will be Bloodline struggling still as they run into another squad here. ScrimFarm on the other side of the road, looking to try finish off what the side of FASTboys started.
And that is it done. Like you mentioned it just seconds after you mentioning that is Bloodline having a rough game as they went out at 18th place. Let's head back though. Reeves got a brilliant knock onto them. I thought about them just retreating, you know. They've got some cars on that side, so BeMyLoot need to draw back a little bit. Need to cross some distance before making it to them, so they have the option to rotate away, but Reeves won to take this fight. The first knock comes through, try to pre-fire against Bertie on those broken walls as the Blues is now slowly chipping the health away.
You see both Vito and Reeves, they have position advantage on that blue zone, on the phase 1 zone. It will decide soon where it will shift the phase number 2, but Vito has to hold off to 2 versus 1, but will not be able to do so. Goes down, Reeves not quite quick enough over the wall, will also fall, and that will be the quick double for BeMyLoot. They will keep Shadow alive for that speedy rotation and double takedown, and they will, as a 4-man squad, move their way into the second phase zone. We just gotta wait to see where it goes.
Oh, a little bit of a drawn-out fight, but that was a clean one. No casualties and take out our team of Conqueror with abundance of players having PMPL experience as well. They need to make this show themselves and make it stronger after 2 rough games, and now we're in Montenuevo, looking at the South Mixed Squad, looking at the high hill, which is now held by Entropiq. Entropiq with the 1-3 split, or using hills and ridges to the advantage, may be able to pinch this side of Mixed Squad inside the city of Montenuevo.
Yeah, there's positional interest here, as you see the side of Entropiq with this 2-1 split versus the 2-1-1 split coming from the side of Mix. And I think it is interesting to see how Mix Squad will come together, maybe look to take out Newark, but on the other side it will be Gaijin still losing multiple members of themselves. It's actually Sengui will fall down. BB comes back for the support, though as GSG won't be able to find that confirmed kill for now.
But they are now sending it in. They know that pressure. They know the 10-second revive window, and Delita is leading the way in. They lost some health, but that is Lau with the flank, with the bus as well. We'll get a second knot onto that. Gaijin is in shambles right now. BB need to strike right now, but he will just be a little bit too late. He's the last one standing. No Zangui is around as well, but for how long is the question. GSG is trying to just choke them right now and just sending in. Ooh! Ooh!
BB will go down. Over the hill, they find him, and BB will be taken out. All the meanwhile, Sengui just painkillering himself up, but you're going to need more than painkillers here. You really need a first aid kit and really some form of miracle to escape the full squad of GSG. They knew that they had that knock onto Sengui. They just ignored him and took out his entire team, and now they're hunting for him in his own house. Huff and puff. The GSG wolves will come and blow down the Gaijin house as Lau and Kamara just stalk their prey.
I mean, Sengui did what he can in this particular situation not to give away any footsteps, and they're just swapping to FPP for now with absolutely no mess. Doesn't even bother to put that bandage in. That may just give away too much sounds. We all know after playing this game for so long that can give a lot away. GSG know there's one more members, but they may just be leaving this one behind. Sengui, the discipline in limiting that audio cue given away will actually be the reason for him to live another day.
Sengui, the sneak master, levels of just play here right now from Sengui. A 500 IQ, keeps himself silent, keeps himself more importantly alive for Gaijin in this second game with still 16 teams alive. On that other side, though, you still see this phase 2 obviously closed down. BeMyLoot finally come over to the edge of this play zone. Will now have to come up against Lakonostra Power, getting their vehicles and also look to try and make their escape. But we do obviously see slightly more inside the zone. ScrimFarm with their high open ground advantage position, looking over that roadside importantly as well. And over, of course, the likes of Lakonostra Power, the victors here almost of the first match, but looking to try take that chicken dinner that they think they deserved here, moving in, but it will be BeMyLoot not able to fight off Lakonostra Power.
Losing one just on that rotation. They're too careless. I mean, this type of position, you just really need to scout it. You drive around, there's so many dips, and there's no need to lose that one. They had the momentum, but they was just a little bit too careless there. The Lakonostra duo will take that first kill of this game as they continue to shoot down Bertie, trying to rotate around with the buggy. Will lose one tire, and that will not be very sweet for them. We all know the importance of those back tires on buggies for mobility, but he will live another day and now got another angle to maybe pinch the side of Lakonostra.
It's going to be a rocky ride here, I think, for the side of Lakonostra Power to really find a way to escape, because all the meanwhile, keep in mind, you see Danny and Neuer now making that smoke road path, looking to try close in the gap to really just eliminate and choke out the side of Lakonostra here. As Bertie, you mentioned on that flank side, will not only flank Lakonostra, but also provide that vision going further inside the zone for the future of this game. Thinking ahead here, not just on their current fight. Over on down the south side, though, it was actually the side of Mix who came closer together. Unfortunately, losing to 2-2, but they do keep 3 players alive. It's now the side of Entropiq here, excuse me, as will move their way closer and overlook the building. The side of Mixer are standing inside.
Nothing changed for the past 2 minutes when it comes to this standoff, but my question is, do they want to move, especially with this new circle actually shifting towards the southeastern side, placing all the teams around El Pozo out of it, so and the likes of ScrimFarm, Lakonostra, BeMyLoot, Unicorns all needing to move, and Hate Gaming actually have a spot in there. This standoff may continue as far as I'm concerned, because they've got a spot in the circle, another minute or so to go. For Romanian Men, got themselves a good compound. If we didn't just quite see that, they tried to rotate as sort of Gaijin got murdered, so they've got a pretty sweet spot in the circle, but those plateau around the Picado Hill, around Power Grid, may be very congested. A lot of teams trying to hold some positions down there, and ScrimFarm entering and fragging onto the FASTboys as they do it.
Yeah, CLW will get knocked, and that will now be them in a dangerous position because just ahead of SKT, FASTboys are now in two fights they didn't really want here, Tarzan, and they are now in trouble because Luffy is also now looking to try take the shots in return to STK, but won't find any. Also on the other side, BeMyLoot are fighting up against the side of Lakonostra Power, 1-for-1 trade over on that northern side, make it also now Bertie going to take down the second on that north side as it subsides. But now, the side of FASTboys will lose Luffy as well, and Luffy will be taken out, as now it will only be El Basani making his move very quietly in the dips to try avoid all of these teams rotating to the center. But I tell you who noticed that fight as well is ScrimFarm, and they are coming in with that buggy 2-man to try look for more kills.
Looking for the 7th right now. They are going to pinch this like crazy, of course, with another team around the area. SKT got a little bit of a breathing room trying to pinch it, and now facing the very strong squad. This is not going to be easy. GSG on the other side might be able to join this, but I think they might just prioritize that mountain position over this little bit of a plateau here.
Yeah, I think STK here maybe biting off what we can chew, because here comes the full power of the squad looking to try take down more, but also the unicorns will find one of their own as well with their horns diving straight into the heart of Agon as he will go down. Savage and Ked will have to try find some way to keep themselves alive. ScrimFarm also take one on the Kinesi over on that other fight as it breaks out. Dual fights here coming from both sides of the map as ScrimFarm will finish off the entire side STK and will be them out of the game. Still Savage X trying to fight though against the side of Sand. Kiz will reload and now has to refire back into the smoke as Savage, maybe a grenade will blow him to the skies.
Oh my
Won't fire just yet. Hate will also find theirs onto Daos.
And Daos Legion holding so strong here. Is that a squad wipe? I think the answer is yes. Hate Gaming is out at 14th. Daos Legion hold down the position on the northwestern side. Let's head back over to Agon and Unicorns of Love. That is going to be him slowly bleeding out. Now facing the side of Ross, they will get the flush. It's going to be a 2v2 on the southwestern side. The high ground and the ridgeline in favor of Ross, Paul, and Sankis slowly rotating around. Savage X is basically pinched in there. Ked will make a small maneuver into that dip so he doesn't get his life chewed away by that blue zone, and still finding an angle onto Ross.
Yeah, Ked keeping himself alive for now is crucial. With Savage X not so lucky, it's going to be a tricky one. He tries to maybe throw the grenade onto Sandkiz, won't find him. He's not over on that side of the hill, Savage, but he is coming for you. Sandkiz is coming closer with Paul on that hillside. Still, Lakonostra Power will also find one onto GSG as they make their rotation down as well, and that would be Lakonostra Ice picking one up. On the other side, though, you see the strong position, though, realistically, from GSG. Look at their position in this zone. Still over Picardo Hill is actually Savage X. We'll find one into Sankiz. Hold my thought here, because now Paul, as well, the only player the Savage needs to really take out is Ked will flush out one of the members of Roz. And Paul, not so lucky, needs getting that vehicle, buggy himself away. Will manage to keep himself alive, using the dips and the ridges of those hills, and keep himself for now inside the game.
You know, out-rotated and outplayed, that is the Unicorns living another day. But let's have a look at this eastern side. You did mention that high ground control coming from GSG Europe. You see them getting towards the end game as well. In game 1, they're here to control further. Very strong squad, very strong spot as well against Lakonostra Ice. The team has lost one player that got those 2 kills, but I don't know whether they have the rotation options in here.
BeMyLoot will find also one onto Daos as they make their rotation from that northern side, but it won't be so much just for now, as they will have Bassi there and AWM to help for support, still keeping themselves close together. For Romanian Men, you mentioned their position earlier to gatekeep potentially these teams, and they're going to do that against the side of Pandas, but also against the side of Entropiq here behind them. It's going to be a Panda sandwich.
Oi, 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 I just was waiting for that. That's none of Montenegro can't continue because the Blue Zone pushed them away. Now, Entropiq is trying to breach this ground of control. The warehouse, helped by Panda, is now getting pressured. Pizza now in here. That burning car will not be helping them, but the side angle also comes in. Dale trying to pinch from the other side. Yes, has to hold this down with the cheeky angle on that doorway.
That will be one down, but here comes Nork trying to come through the entire side of Panic.
Nice.
But he will also fall, and he is with that excellent knock to start off the fight. Took the Panic as low as the Blue Zone for Ellen Quick, and they will just lose all three. Here is a disaster for their team. Only one more alive is now Dale, just unable to help from that other house. Will actually find one, perhaps, as XT will go down. Dexter does manage to keep one.
The long-range third party. Looking at the two teams that need to move, this is going to be so good for Romanian Men. Have a spot in the circle as well. There's not any compounds around. Unicorns of Love holding a strong spot as well. BeMyLoot now on that northern side. Let's not forget about Daos Legion. We just fought them earlier, and they will just suffer from that knock as well. It's not going to be an easy one. More grounds to cross, and that's not even in the circle yet.
Yeah, you see now the side of these teams not in circle, and Daos Legion, they just want none of this fight. They want inside that circle, and look how open that circle is as well. Another one here for game number 2, just like we saw in the first match. And 4 Romanian Men will continue to gatekeep those teams on the east, but the action really is all on this, the west, because the action here is on northeast here. My friend Tarzan, as it will be GSG knocking one on to Lakonostra Ice. And they will need to cool themselves off for now, because it will be TXXI. Kane just flushed out. Only now one remaining, because Gold Touch also in danger. But in the north side, it will be BeMyLoot also losing one, as it will get sniped off from the hills of ScrimFarm.
Yeah, I'm worried about GSG Europe, you know. They've got the high ground, they've got the proximity to some of these small huts and dips, but they just want to play the high ground for so long. Now that's just claimed by another team, but BeMyLoot also under immense pressure. They tried to do it, but they've lost another one down to Noya as the solo, but he's got a spot in the circle. Will lose the helmet though, and that's going to be a rough one for them. GSG need to move now. The Blue Zone's now closing in.
Yeah, the Blue Zone, Papa Blue looking to make some work of these teams. And you say, BeMyLoot, they've only got hay bales to keep themselves alive. Alpasani will fall down to the big Papa Blue, and it will now be GSG looking to make their way off of the cliffside and down into the action. But not so easily will that be done. Ellen Quick will go also down, as well as they lose one. On the other side, Unicorns of Love looking to take one of the side of Mixed Squad.
And that is Unicorns actually getting a compound as well. And they just hold that down. 4 Romanian Men have finished farming those two teams on that southwestern side. And now GSG, not as easy as they think, as Kamara get knocked. And the second one comes through as well. So much damage coming from the 4 damage. And Lau is not even in yet with Uzi in his hand. He's trying to get some revenge. But that is his last first aid. I can't even stop the thirst from coming through. GSG lost 2. And that would be Lau actually returning the favor and just made it in the circle. Oh my god there.
Yeah, GSG just obliterate Daos Legion, and they will fall in 7th position. But they wouldn't be struggling here to get down, because look at their positionings. Look at where that zone is. It is far from the side of GSG, and Annalisa just drops down, beats a kill to Gold Touch, and says thank you very much.
Well, what do I say about that? Like, what can I say? It's the high ground. You need to prepare for that. Of course, Lau has a position right now, and there's only a few more teams, but he's got no first aids, he's got no cars, he's got no health, and he's got no life, and that is GSG done for that one after taking 12 kills. But look at this bloodbath continuing. Unicorns of Love got the compound, sharing it with Mixed Squad, and now the full squad of 4 Romanian Men actually made it in. No, they've lost spot, but they've got a very sweet spot with some ridge lines, with some grass and hay bales. That is going to be the last 3 team. A 2 versus 3 versus 1. Ket with the off angle may make it work.
You see, also keep in mind, Vatraperic there on the flank side could really upset the remaining other two teams, but it will be cared to find another beautiful shot and angle onto now. This time for Romanian Men, just obliterates now Dexter from this game. See ya in Sanhok jungles for game number 3, because Rana now separated. Sushi on that rock, but is outside the zone. Needs to make that rotation in the next 40 seconds. Ked as well outside of zone 2, and only that car giving himself alive. But you talked about here the third party potential, and Savage X will lose his life, and now Unicorns of Love tables have turned here, Tarzan, because they are not looking pretty. It's actually decided a mixed squad with all the makeup on, looking fashionable as ever. Is Vatraperic will actually take down one.
Oh my god there. Silent X Squad almost basically stolen away the entry spot, and the Savage X is probably like, good work, buddy. I'm just going to give you all my gift and all my loot, and they just need to not die. I was going to say, Cat just need to not peek, but Savage X has to hold that down as well. It's going to be a 2v1v1, both side of Mixed Squad, and Cat doesn't have a spot in the circle.
Yeah, Ked is homeless right now in this phase 7. It is coming in blue zone looking to claim his life. And Rana also with Sushi knows just how much that phase 7 is going to hurt. Savage X just bleeding down on him. Meanwhile, it will be Mixed Squad making their rotation in. Now as Sushi also falls, Rana just trying to keep themselves alive, but no smoke to save him. Neither for Ked will be snaked into the grass. It will be Savage X first to fall down. Finally is now Vatraperic will keep himself alive, bellying that wall. Look at that positioning right now. Looking now for that positioning for a second place really in this game, because it's now all on Ked and for Romanian Men as Ked makes his assault in. Dives back down onto the decks here as Ked will now observe the situation he is in. The grenade goes short, won't find Sushi, also on a snake of his own. Rana just ahead.
Oh, this little bit of a small hill that with those just grass on that crown of that bank will actually be saving Ked for now, and he made it's a spot into the circle, and the other side, the last play of Mixed Squad need to cross the road, so I'm just gonna call it that might be him going down a third. As long as Ked can play patient right here, he can maybe 1v2, especially when the crosser on the road distracts the side of Sushi and Runner. He has a possible, very likely chance to take this away.
But look at Vatraperic looking to maybe fire through the smoke into the side of Ked. That's going to start perhaps the assault, as he actually will dip down onto the road, but he will get taken out, this time by 4 Romanian Men. Ked has to pop his head up, because now the fight has really begun. And 4 Romanian Men looking just to take this chicken into home. And it will be Ked doing all he can, but not enough. 4 Romanian Men will take home the second chicken dinner.
Oh my god, 4 Romanian Men showing up, my lord. I've been watching them. I love this squad, casting them so many times, and they was not showing up before, like maybe 2 weeks ago, but maybe things have changed now. Dexter and his friends with 5 kills and a chicken dinner, and the sucks to be the Unicorns. I mean, they've done so well, but just falling short 2 games in a row to miss that chicken dinner. A second place with 7 kills, but let's not forget, those are 2 games of second place, 24 placement points. Then we had a 7 kill game and a 15 kill game. That is 46 points in 2 games.
Oh, quick math.
And that is going to, to challenge me on that one. I have it in my bag, and that is them. Oh my god. And with this type of play, this momentum, I think, because let's not forget, they could have maybe won that one. Fresh just killed himself to make it harder for his team. Say, like, it's training right here, buddy. Let's go. Okay, I'm just going to kill myself. And that is probably one of the strongest reasons and main reasons as to why they couldn't take this win, because you know what, that strong player can make a world of a difference. And moving on to the third place, we have Mixed Squad with 2 kills. BeMyLoot made it to top 4, so some good improvement compared to the game 1, as they took those 7 kills as well. In 5th place, we have Lakonostra Ice with 4 kills. GSG Europe, I talked about that position, not going to talk about it again, the elevation, but the potential loss of health or whatever on the drop down from that mountain. But not before they got themselves 12 kills though, with a 6th place finish. Daos Legion, a 7th place finish with 7 kills. Panda choked on the outside, getting pushed and getting pinched, gatekept at the same time as they took the 8th place and 2 kills. In 9th place, we have Entropiq with 1 kill, and I'm just going to pass it over to my dear Highland Wolf to continue with the rest.
Gracias, senor. As we
Pleasure.
see the side of, very Spanish here for Miramar, as FASTboys will come into 10th position with 1 kill. You see ScrimFarm in 11th. We're picking up, though, a juicy 7 kills. In Gaijin in 12th with 3. You see Roz in 13th position with 1. You see Hate in 14th with 1 as well. You see STK, though, in 15th with will have 1 kill as well, and Lakonostra Power will take 16th in 1 kill as well. Unfortunately, decided Conqueror, though, 2 low place finishes, and they will fall down in 17th with nothing, as 18th will be Bloodline, just getting pinched in the center there between many teams.
Yeah, that split around Power Grid very hard to play, and we've seen it for a few nights now, Highland Wolf, and that they didn't make it work. I've seen one game that they made it work, but they need to study it, and especially for this caliber of play, a lot of these teams, they will meet again in PMCO, or if they can make it even further, EMEA, and this is time to study and adjust this, not just their current state, right, as a competition when it comes to their ability to adapt and play flexible as well as smart. And of course, gun control, as always, as we make a wrap to this game 2. We're going on a short break. I will see all of you in just a few minutes in the jungle of Sanhok.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Hate PMCO EU wildcard Scrims. And you just joined back from game 2, where we just saw 4 Romanian men take down that second chicken dinner and take down a Corns of Love, who are feeling probably a little bit cheated right now, second place 2 times in a row. But neither them or 4 Romanian men are the ones that have to worry. Who I'm really worried for right now is the side of Conqueror, here, Tarzan. They are a PMPL team, looked strong on paper, but have struggled to make it even into the points from being position points here. Never mind the kills.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a chance, especially when it comes to those first 2 maps. I don't know which one we'll be playing in Game 4, but I do believe we'll be going back to Erangel or Miramar. So that's for them to test, round 2, test the splits, etc. But meanwhile, we will have the beautiful map of Sanhok. And to be honest, I kind of hate it when I play it, but because I'm not as good as these players, that should be the main reason. As we have these teams coming in, we have, supposedly 18 teams. I'm still waiting for Hate Gaming to come here. Maybe they are not showing up for this game through Highland Wolf.
Yeah, that would be a real shame, because Hate have actually had some potential here, going from the first 2 games to have some strong showing, but just not quite able to quite finish it off, if you like, to get into those final zones. But I am interested to see how this pace will change going into game number 3. Sanhok obviously being super quick of a game. We do see that playing path going to be kind to these players, so that will provide some respite on what will be a more fast-paced match.
Especially with the size of the map as well. Like I always say, 4 kilometers times 4 kilometers. Small. Okay, so the predictions when it comes to playing path is almost invalid. You need to play like there's enemies everywhere. Make use of those early information coming from the parachute positions that your players every split second before you hit the ground really counts here. As we see the first teams off the plane going towards Cow is ScrimFarm, and in Hartin we have Daos Legion, and this is going to be that playing path from that tip there in top left, tip of that main island towards docks, and it should be a very nicely evenly distributed colors of rainbows of teams.
I love myself a rainbow, but I tell you what Conquerors are doing, they are picking up these kills, but unfortunately do lose Rees in the process. Going to be a rough start for them. Is Lakonostra Power also going to be in some trouble over in the center of the quarry area, as Entropiq here will take down 1 for themselves, make it a double, actually, as they will just flush that 1 kill down.
The pre-fire was good. GSG is trying to strike this one strong. Reeves get picked up, but Marley got knocked, and this fight will continue. The pincer from the outside happening for GSG. Lau gets knocked west when he's trying to make that flank. A little bit clumped right now as he's going for that flank.
Look at him, aggression from Azzy, too much, my friend, too early, as GSG has picked that one up for free, but it will be Vito from the other door here, gonna pick one up for himself, and GSG Kamara, the only one inside the building, looking to try to take down Vito. The bullets will rain, but now the wall's blocking both players. They're gonna come back round, reset, fight once again, but Reeves here to try bully into a 2 versus 1, but here comes the explosion. Vito will find a knock onto Reeves. All the meanwhile, GSG lose all of their players. So inside the lobster building and just on the edge of it, Gaijin now coming up with Cray and BB. They're not done yet this fight.
Oh my god, Vito's just celebrating, say, Reeves, get back down on your knees, I got this, but for how long? Gaijin is waiting for this third party, they're looking at the kill feed, Vito's trying to stop that. It's going to be a 2 versus 4 that they have to hold up against.
Look at Vito and Reeves, how fast they retreat. Over the bridge they run, and looking to try and make that hasty retreat outside of boot camp. They know there is zero way they will be able to hold off the aggression of 4 versus 2 situation effectively, as they reposition themselves for a better shot at trying to take down Gaijin, holding off for now. On the meanwhile, we did obviously see the side of Conqueror struggle themselves, and as well as the side down of Lakonostra Power going to be picking up, I believe, the entire side here of Entropiq, excuse me here, who have just fell down. 4 kills going over to Lakonostra Power in the early game.
Showing it strong. The Quarry control is here. Lakonostra, after losing Vama, will pick up that full squad wipe and will get some access to the Pine and Hill usually, but also in the area we have the side of mixed squad. Tuturutu is the name, and I've seen him play and just slowly crawling in close to these hangars here in the southwestern side of Quarry. Can maybe play some, cheeky, how should I say it? Cheeky tactics there, so some snaking action can maybe backstab them when Lakonostra is trying to rotate out of this area.
We obviously have to be careful to get third party here by the brother Lakonostra Power, Lakonostra Ice here also positioning here for that third party position towards Painan in the center of the circle for Romanian Men. Will also snipe one, but Mix also find one onto their own here. Is their own fight will play out. It will be decided for Romanian Men, picking up though a second.
For Romanian Men going for the usual drops right there, we see that time and time again, them going for the split, a 2-2 on the side around Mongnai, and they are now holding up against Ross Squad on these junction compounds. Not going to be easy coming in, but Sushi says otherwise we'll just place some AK shots to the dome of Buster, and that will give the opportunity for aimbot, not aimbot, come on, aimbot, or aimbot is the name, to cross in as they slowly breach this high ground held by the side of Ross.
Sandkid's looking not long for his world, but he's trying to keep himself alive. But here comes Dexter in the flank, will find a knock, and it will now just be Usu moving his way far away from that fight, looking for a new way back in, because Roz are just out, really, of this game, with Usu only going to be able to keep himself alive for as long as he possibly can. You see, inside the quarry, the side of Mixed Squad have now moved their way in. Tuturutu will be knocked down. They need to just reset, which they, as you see, are doing, and looking now to try put the pressure back onto Lakonostra Power, who in that fight did lose 2 members and only have 2 remaining.
But anyway, there is another team in the area. The other Lakonostra squad, Lakonostra Ice, is trying to control that Painan Hill on that southwestern part of Quarry, and are looking down that will maybe slowly push away the side of Lakonostra Power, and Alibaba and Hunter will just retreat back to the main Quarry compounds, and knowing how to play control with that congestion there. Speaking of congestion, boot camp is still happening. Gaijin still trying to clear out the last 2 players of Conqueror, being Vito and Reese, but look, just on that northern side, the FASTboys are coming in. This can be a bit of a spicy one.
Yeah, Gaijin best be careful they don't go too aggressive for one and get picked off by the other, just like you see Conqueror here going to be struggling. They are split as well, which makes it just that much more difficult for Reese to hold off all 4 members of Gaijin. Looking hungry for Reese right now, dips back inside, looking to try and keep himself long enough alive as possible. Looks to almost find one, but won't quite find a kill, as he will lose his life out of his first match. Vito will only be able to watch, but actually does find that one, betrays aggression, out of position, but Vito almost goes down. Almost the entire squad there out. Conqueror once again, you best be careful you don't get 3 games in a row of a low score, as BB looking to make that a fact.
Oh, BB losing so much health and hoping that knock there is BeMyLoot from the South Hills, and that is going to be Vito, just trying to exert his dominance and his frustration unleashed with the pan onto BB, and he will just be holding this one still. Just Gaijin pushing in here, the sandwich from either side. The last guy standing is Krem right here with the stand-up peek and shoot again, Vito, and is the FASTboys in here now in boot camp.
You see Cram there just barely able to keep his entire team alive. What went from a 4 versus 2 looks so much more difficult, as you do see BeMyLoot off of the rooftop in the hills just pick off one. from Gaijin, and Cram will be the only one alive. All the meanwhile, we talked about how FASTboys were coming in. They've now controlled the area boot camp, but they need to move off of that area towards BeMyLoot, because they are the ones who are going to keep both teams as that zone moves down further south.
I'll tell you what's interesting right now, Highland. It's the empty spots around Camp Charlie, along that river to the southeastern side of Painan. I think teams are very scared to come in, not knowing the distribution, but it's in the center, and it will also give options for the teams to maybe cross if they need to. But meanwhile, the side of Bloodline is here to redeem themselves. They will have a clash on the south side of Quarry, and they will find some brilliant angles onto multiple enemies. Aethys is not at the moment, though.
Yeah, you see Aethys has been knocked down. Revi is going to have to come up, which will take a little bit of time, because you don't want Mixed Squad to get that angle. Neither do you want Panda to come up behind you, and that's what you see All In doing to try protect them from just that. Unicorns of Love also going to struggle here, as they will have their own fight versus STK. Meanwhile, Bloodline are just bleeding onto the grass here as they now lose Kapahala, who I'd go for that revive. Buren now on the retreat as well, as all the meanwhile Panda coming in to try clean up all of these kills.
It's going to be a really, really hard one, but Panda also needs to know how to rotate around this. If they've shown themselves by shooting, they may have to go wide to go towards cave, and that can give them a very good position to fight this. If not, if they want to charge straight through, we know the abilities of players of Bloodline. As Kapahala, the boss himself, gets revived, he can hold this down, and there's still one more member slowly bleeding out, but this congestion can be quite lethal for any of these teams. Meanwhile, STK will clash with Unicorns and putting so much damage, triple knock onto Unicorns right now.
Unicorns of Love, they were over the hill, but now they will be out of the game, as it will be STK. Shoot to kill will just put the bullet pain train into Unicorns of Love. See you in the final match, as it will be 12 teams remaining. But this fight isn't still done, and the other side of the game is BeMyLoot, coming from that hilltop, are now also struggling, because these teams are looking to come inside the zone. They pick up a double knock, as Dani and Noya will both fall.
How many teams in here? The FASTboys and the last player of Gaijin in bootcamp, and two of these bootcamp hills we've got there across the mountain fight between BeMyLoot and ScrimFarm. Well, with that information being passed over and BeMyLoot actually living it and getting the revive is going to be quite a spicy one, and we are yet to see the Nick zone. But look at the team distribution there, Highland, with 2 teams on that southwestern island and 10 on the main island. That will be quite an interesting one. I think the zone's going to dictate a lot of that, and looking forward to see how these teams play this remainder of Sanhok game.
Yeah, if this zone goes to the other side of the island down south, it's going to be all of these teams rushing to those bridges. But if it goes north, we're going to expect a more passive game. But it does go for the more aggressive option. As you see that zone shoot towards that southern island, and we're now going to see what you mentioned about Count Charlie, Pioneer Bridge. Those are going to be the 2 areas that these teams are going to contest over.
And FASTboy here need to rotate. I mean, they've got a spicy spot to maybe third party and all that, but knowing the tendencies of these teams, in the likes of the teams like BeMyLoot and ScrimFarm holding down this position, they would just go for the rotation. 56 seconds remaining. ScrimFarm tried to push away, but they will clash with 4 Romanian men. Clown is dead. Unique is knocked. Naya is getting lasered. And the side of Spectra is just trying to rotate. And they will not be able to make this easily. 4 Romanian men in position to stop this. But meanwhile, they need to worry about the entry spot into circle. Rana is now slowly moving in to grab that anchorage point.
Yeah, you see their scouts who just keep themselves ahead of the game, not going to stay behind using this kill, because they do, of course, know they are very far away from that zone. They do not want to be the last to face up against all of these teams, as you can imagine, going to that South Island. And you see, also keep in mind, Daos Legion also now coming over towards Panda, looking to try cut linear off, but they will drive their way into safety as the rest of Panda come along that coastline on the map. you see the rest of these teams so coming from the south end, like the mixed squad, like Lakonostra Power and Bloodline. They're also going to come together, I believe. Not the Count Charlie bridge, but you see that middle bridge, slightly a little bit smaller, coming across the center of the zone, that main road line. That's where teams are going to be perhaps looking to try get close to be controlling, so that come to, if it comes a more dangerous phase 4 zone, they will be prepared.
And when we talked about rotation out of boot camp, the side of BeMyLoot already found a spot into Painan, sharing it with Lakonostra Ice, and the Bloodline still have to come in, but they know there were shots from before. Maybe they were looking out for the Pandas. Little do they know, the Pandas have already crossed, and who is also crossing the side of Lakonostra Power, coming into the area of control by Daos Legion, and they're going to clash.
You see Daos Legion coming in to try take down Lakonostra Power, and it will be Lakonostra. Just, you only see their one player alive coming over the rocks. Can they find the kills? It's going to be the peek and shoot game for the side of Alibaba, but can he find the kills to confirm? And also we see the side of BeMyLoot struggling inside Painan as they will lose multiple. It will just be the Daos Legion special as they will just delete away Lakonostra Power. Lakonostra Ice, so the brothers looking to try and make a fight for the victory of their clan, as it will be BeMyLoot struggling inside the buildings, trying to keep themselves alive as Noya comes in for support. But inside of Painan, the damage has been done, and Lakonostra Power find a beautiful grenade onto Shao, and that will just almost really close the curtains here on BeMyLoot, as they will turn into loot boxes, and Noya, the only one alive.
Oh my gobbling ping pong, the brilliant hold down. We all know how to maybe play Painan if it goes early, because that might be the choice of drop spot for many of these teams, but you also need to know how to play it at any phase of the game. Look at ScrimFarm needing to rotate further. Oh, so many players on the main island still. ScrimFarm now clashing. The last duo want to stop the FASTboys coming in. It's going to be a 2v2 situation right now. The blue zone is starting to tick. Vitoni with quite a lot of meds and good gear as well. They can live another day, but for how long? 400 meters, almost 500 for them to travel. 36 seconds until the blue zone closes.
But look at ScrimFarm, they're taking over the roads here, they're taking control of position, and really close the curtains as well here themselves onto the side of FASTboys, who have CLW knocked. They finally found that revive, but it's going to be too slow. Perhaps they should have left their friend and thought more about the rest of this game. Because you see ScrimFarm, Spectre, Naya will not give up these kills, will not allow a team come to backdoor them and backstab them in this third match, and they will try to take them down as Vitoni will take the grenade to the face. And now Jury, all the meanwhile, in the zone, needs to keep himself alive.
Is this a fight to take? That is the question. I think this is about time. They need to use the blue damage in their favor, and a lot of run and gun action right now might be the optimal plan. Meanwhile, we see the South 4 Romanian Men using the car on Sanhok will use that buggy to send themselves into this northern edge of the circle. And FASTboys will be under immense pressure. Of course, we also see Cram, the last player of Gaijin, slowly getting eaten up by the blue zone, and yes, congestion on this northern side, and Fast will have more trouble as the side of ScrimFarm slowly making it through, finally in Painan, another 250 meters to go.
Yeah, Gaijin there just playing devil's advocate for the side of FASTboys, and they will just both, I believe, fall to that blue zone being so far out. As 4 Romanian Men here do take control of these 3 pillars of rocks over the power to the side of Lakonostra.
Bloodline!
Themselves, as Bloodline also now finds some onto Daos Legion, as they will catch them on their rotation into zone. Daos Legion only now 3 players. Inside the compound they will go, but also keep position over Bloodline for this zone, and Bloodline still need to do a little bit more work if they want to come down this hill, but it's going to be tricky. You see Kabahala coming down the flank.
And I mean, after all, that's going to be a 4v2. They will be under blue pressure, but they got the full revive from that skirmish earlier, and they're just coming in like the flood. Rich and Sava need to hold this down. As well with the far distance support. It can go either way, but Bloodline under blue pressure right now has to move now, pushing in with the aggressive mode to stop the sightlines from Sava.
You see Kappa Harlow is in play, as well as Bloodline on the duo on the other side, but they will go down to half health, but they will find Salvo before the blue zone eats them up. And Rich now as well needs to just keep himself alive, but won't be able to do so. Does find one knock. Can he find a second? Yes, he will, but doesn't find a third. Rich won't be able to pull off the miracle play, but here comes AWM. Did not quite for long, though, as Allen will just play spoiler from the top for the blue zone and will protect his team for now. And Bloodline keep themselves alive in a narrow edge of zone contest, but they'd still need to move. That zone, all the meanwhile, has moved even further away from them here, Tarzan, and it's in the favor of both shoot to kill and for Romanian Men.
Oh my god, Bloodline making it work, and Lakonostra also need to move. Just that fight right there, and that is just going to be Bloodline showing us how to do it, but Lakonostra showing us how not to do it, going in and trying to hold it down against the full team in the circle. Small circle, end game, inside out, driving with the car. Desperate time, desperate measures, but desperate, despairing result there for them. And that is Kappahala finally coming in round 2 with the buggy. And seems like they might be able to get away with this one.
Shoot to kill, looking to now take their next fight. They've been quiet for now after their obliteration of Unicorns of Love. But Shoot to Kill will now look to find a second. Meanwhile, for Romanian Men fighting over in ScrimFarm on the opposite front, the 2-2 split not paying out so much here, as it will be them losing multiple with knocks there. But Rana will keep themselves alive, and that will be them for now, not completely out of the game. Meanwhile, Bloodline will be inside the blue zone, will almost be out. Surely is Kappahala going to be that solo player with Allen to keep themselves alive. Makes that rotation into zone. Bloodline, the rest will fall.
It was basically a 4v4v4, but of course the side of Burin and Aethys get completely gate-kept by STK. And for Romania, meanwhile, will just take that time to out-rotate. STK lost a spot. The new zone pops. We've got another 26 seconds. Now they're the team that needs to rotate in.
Yeah, it's downhill battle for the side of Shoot to Kill, and it's not going to be easy because the ridge lines don't protect them so easy. But what they might actually have in their favor is that Bloodline are ahead of them, and 4 Romanian Men are focused on them. Kappahala and All-In aren't out of danger yet. You see Dexter making that rotation on the flank side, looking to try pick them off if they're not too careful. Dexter coming in, looking to try find one, but a grenade goes wide, and Dexter gonna chuck a second over, I believe, to try find more, and that will be the double shot, a quick deletion away, a Bloodline as they will fall. 2 more teams stand. Meanwhile, Shushi goes down to Bloodline from Kappahala. Just debate and trade for the side of 4 Romanian Men, but all the meanwhile, you see STK coming down, the smokes have been laid, and now the rotation will come out. Rana needs to hold this off for a team, allow them time just to be able to get back into this game as a full squad.
Oh my god, and they just made it in. If I were Rana from 4 Romanian Men, I would be slightly even more aggressive, knowing the landscape, just analyzing it, knowing that may give him more edge, but we will end this third game as a 4v4 as the first knocks come through.
Wizzy will fall down, and that will make it a 3 versus 4 situation. A grenade will be good measure just to stop that rebuy coming through. Kinesi and Clint also just claimed by the blue zone, and it's just going to be the 1 versus 4 for Romanian Men looking for the second chicken dinner, as Kinesi will also fall down with time, and also show Will Nadi inside the zone. The hopes of STK have been crushed by 4 Romanian Men, and 4 RM will be your 3rd game chicken dinner winner, and they will be dual chicken winners across the last 2 matches.
Oh my god, showing up. Yes, go 4 RM, let's get it. I mean, they haven't won it yet, but Kinesi with 10 first aids right now, just, you know, killing time.
He's
and
loving life right now.
If he can frag this, I'm going to retire and give away all my money to all of you, and probably not even charity, because I don't know why I said that. But looking for Romanian, this is a good maneuver. I think taking that last kill is important. The 17th comes through.
It will be so many kills before RM. They have just put down the foundations of hopes and dreams for their fans, as they will pick up not only a second chicken dinner, but also, as you mentioned, a ridiculous 17 kills, with STK as we say, coming up in second position.
I don't know what to say. How often do we see a double digit? Dexter, my man, just fragging it out. 17 kills on Sanhok. What the heck, man? They wasn't even really in the circle for a very long time, but they used those car rotations and timed it well. Like, a lot of people don't even consider using them because it's so noisy, but they made it work. And they rotate it around, held angles, have good splits. I don't know what to say. I'm just so happy to see this team perform, man. And
yeah, they
that
just
will
completely
be
smurfed.
Yes.
Smurfed over that lobby.
And you know what? The STK, I would give them on that because it's a very good showing after a bit of a sucky games 1 and 2. As they take this, look, 9 kills second place is really, really solid. And the same for Bloodline, finally back to some top part of the chart and the table as they take a third position with 7 kills as well. And ScrimFarm, unfortunately, wouldn't make it through, but will still get 8 placement points, in the likes of them not getting any kill points. That is still something very decent in their bag going through tonight. Lakonostra Ice took a 5th position with 4 kills. The FASTboys, the trio, actually made it to 6th place and 2 kills. Daos Legion, we saw their attempt in controlling the bridge. That Camp Charlie bridge, then a compound to gatekeep, but they just got obliterated as they took that 7th place and the 2 kills. Gaijin out at 8th with 2 kills, and Panda with a 9th position with no kills.
Yeah, in 10th position, BeMyLoot turned into the boxes of loot that they were in Painan. 2 kills go over to them. Will be mixed squad in 11th with 1. Lakonostra Power take in 12th with 5. Unicorns of Love in 13th, falling down from their first 2 games with 0 kills there. It will be Conquerors not able to pull off, but do pick up 5 kills in 14th. The kills and the points that they needed, and it will be Roz in 15th. 16th will be decided of Entropiq. I do get it right this time, and it will be 17th. I know, I'm proud of myself. 17th will take GSG Europe in the rear with 2 kills.
Ooh, a lot of bouncing up and down, right? And the consistency that we don't want is from Conqueror to be like kind of bottom of the table, but I mean, they did take 5 kills this game and 4 kills game 1, but not going into the placement points range, so still waiting for them to show up. Of course, we adapt through the night, especially when you have the second chance with some of these main maps as well in game 4, so that is really time for them to show it. And GSG once again strong fragging game last game, right, and then coming back down to 17. That's kind of a sad one to see, but what do I know? I think they know better, and this is the time to show their adaptability as we take this short break, and I'll see you all in game 4.
Hey! Welcome back, guys, to the final game, and I'm more super hyped than I guess I can really let on here because it's absolutely freezing. I'll be honest in this shed, Tarzan. I know. I need a little blanket if you got one. Like,
give me your postcode right now, and I will throw
I see
myself
where we're going
at
here.
you, and not just the blanket. Okay, jokes aside, we're just waiting for some players to get into this last game, and this Erangel game, we want to see some teams do better. We mentioned the side of Conqueror, like Highland Wolf, and they're not in the lobby yet, so that leaves me a little bit heartbroken.
Yeah, I know. I really wanted to see these teams all together, a merry band of players to jump into the final game of Erangel here. But it is, as I say, going to be an Erangel, our final map. And I tell you who is looking scary right now is 4RM because, holy boy, they have been just smurfing, as we said before the break, on this lobby.
That is just through a lot of training. I think a lot of scrims on top of PMCO has done them good. And this will be them to show what they can do again. But I do have a little bit of a concern for a team like for Romanian Men. In the game one, they rely a lot of the zone going towards them and the position being basically very fixed. They drop locations, right? And very easy for these teams to find out how to punish them for their early drop choices. And so that is something that I'll be looking at. Of course, the playing path may not allow them to go towards their favorite spots, and that can just add some more spice to tonight's last game.
Do you know what I'm also interested in? Is actually the side of Bloodline. On another note, is they always tend to actually split drop for one split, and we've seen that done in Erangel in game number 1. Will be interesting to see if we split drop again going into game number 4. Obviously, is a very similar playing path, just in reverse here.
Oh my god, no teams can really get further than Gatka and Pachinki. That is how sudden this playing path is. Prison as well, yeah, like I don't think they can reach that comfortably. Shelter, maybe just about. So that line that we can draw from Shelter towards Gatka is the parachuting range, I believe. And of course, if you're dropping more on this western coastline, then you can still make it in. But that's not a very popular choice for these teams as we see them adapting to this. The first team off the plane will be BeMyLoot heading towards Build Power, Daos Legion heading towards the Novo side. Hate Gaming repeating what they've done in game 1, heading towards military base, and for Romanian Men going back to the favorite coastal compounds.
Yeah, we do see a couple more teams going to be dropping over on that South Island, make it a little bit more spicy over on towards the south side. But where the action is and where the spice really is, chili peppers are just all over the side of this eastern end here, Tarzan, because I tell you what, the amount of colors here we are seeing, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams on this eastern coastline.
And that can slowly just get dispersed, right? Teams do respect each other, but you know who doesn't or just try to fight is the side of ScrimFarm. And Bloodline, they will repeat their clash around the shelter and prison, drop the second time, and once again, Bloodline... No, actually, the tables have turned. Spectra, this time, coming ahead of that. And let's not forget about this one you did mention. More teams on the southern island, Hate Gaming, now sharing military base with STK.
Well, you say sharing is caring, but maybe not for the side of Hate Gaming, because Slyke looks out of position here with a 3-1 split of STK. Doesn't look long for this world, I would say, as you do see the rest of his team there, Shifu and Jaya, are just very, very far away from being able to help him, especially at such an early stage in this game. That zone phase 1 has pot very central. Slyke does find one onto Lind, and that might be the respite that he needs going into this final match, because the rest of STK shoot kill they aren't here. That was a 3-1 split. He takes out their solo player, and that will actually go towards Hate.
Oh my god, like, beautiful Nate right there. Should get rewarded for that, and they do. And the support need to come in further, and I think Hate Gaming has a good one, because the STK are all pinched in that C building. Of course, early loot is good, but the rotation path needs to be considered. That... I don't like it, my lover, I don't like it. This is not classics, this is a scrim, and for them to try to clump towards there, the second they leave from the northern side, I think Chatter may come back to just pinch this from that hill. And but you know what, let's not focus on that for too long. You know what I want to look at? Gakka. That is Unicorns of Love round 2 with Gaijin in this area.
Gaijin want that blood though. Unicorn is... They have silver blood here. Phoenix will be looking pretty silver-blooded right now, as Cray will be coming inside the other building. That's not the building you want to be going into. That one's occupied. Takes a 1-1 trade though. Head comes out. The noodle chopsticks gutters here, and he will make quick work of one. Takes down the confirmed kill as well. As now comes the arsenal of the rest of Unicorns of Love. Savage X with a Jeep coming in for support, and it will be Cram now also 2 versus 1 with Argon, but manages with the help of Sengui to take that just down to a 1-on-1. Cram dips back under the smoke, and it now will be 2 members of Unicorns of Love now in trouble, but Savage X truly will be able to be revived. Not quite yet, though. He is on his journey towards Head. Head doesn't keep an eye on Phoenix, and it will be Aegon now to make it a 2-on-2 drop. Now as Gaijin make it now 3 against him, as Cray pops down as well. Argon doing the work that they need for Unicorns of Love, and they will now just look to push it in with Argon. Maybe too aggressive though with Ked on the outside. Ked looking to try take control of Sengui. Can't do anything about his team going down, as Cram and Cray will just bleed out.
Agon with the flank, and now the pickup can just almost take out 3 by himself. That side angle. Yes, and that can still be possible as he slowly tries to maneuver around, but that is Ket with the off angle. No casualties for Unicorns, and take the round to win yet again in the Gatka fields. The side of Gaijin out at 17th position.
Unfortunate start for them, just not able to hold off the aggression, the support coming out from the Unicorns. They make a clean rotation, and they'd be able to take down those first 4 kills, and they lose no one as a result of it, though. Down in Pachinki, you see actually 4 Romanian men maybe going to start off their steamroll of game number 4, potentially against mixed squad, as you see Unseen will actually make their rotation as well with the rest of their team coming over under car chase to Dexter. Dexter's coming back up to support, though you might not want to run in too close, because it will be
my lord,
getting that beautiful triple, and they will pick up their kills, as I mentioned. 3 for starters, and it will look to be more for mains as they hold down a strong position inside zone.
Oh my god, the comms from Dexter all along. They know that the team's chasing, the rest of the team's ready to allow Dexter to be the best bait ever, as they took those 3 kills happily to this area close to the Pachinki Hills. And meanwhile, STK, let's not forget, I thought they were going to get pinched. They just out-rotated Hate Gaming, and they are now crossing, or basically crossed the Western Bridge right there. I didn't expect that one for sure, but I'll have one more point to make when it comes to these drop locations. Look at RozAvlea position, look at the side of BeMyLoot. All these teams, and for example, Lakonostra Power as well, for a very southern playing path, they are still very, very committed, almost religious to go back to their favorite spots, found those cars, and made it all the way to the northern part of the map.
And that pays off for them as well, because although we see actually Bloodline and BeMyLoot here going towards perhaps a northern rotation themselves, just based on how that zone does look in phase number 1, RozAvlea will be a good way to get through to the center of the zone, because not only do they have to go down south, they can also actually go through Everest. But here it will still be the side of Entropiq taking up their own kills, so down and Milta is Lakonostra Ice will just lose one member. Actually could make it 2 is Lakonostra Ice. No, they were a trio there, excuse me, as Gold Touch will lose their life, but Elod and Zaki will keep themselves alive.
A good quick pickup there, and maybe a rotation would be good for them. But if they knew and they studied around, just a split second when they jump off the plane, they might be able to see a plane, a team being Daos Legion heading towards Novo, and that is Daos Legion actually making it through this bridge. I could say maybe the side of Entropiq losing a bit of an opportunity there, but those planning should come through before they even hit the ground. I mean, nonetheless, a very good pickup onto one of the players of Lakonostra, and but they need to rotate further because this is nowhere close to the middle of the circle if they want to play that center position.
Unfortunately, Lakonostra Ice do look a little bit pinched here, though, because also come BeMyLoot, their rotation. 3 members going into the 2 of Elod and Zaki, and they're going to have to reposition. They know the vehicle rotations are coming. They're keeping quiet for now, as Elod just keeping an eye on actually where these shots are coming from. They try pick off Danny, but will be alive for now. And Shadow, with the comms there, will also go a little bit wide. Potentially going to come out of Elod and Zaki and keep the entire squad alive in a rotation into zone.
And I'm loving this distributions around all these parts of the center map right here for Romanian Men holding Pochinki Hill. The other side of the Pochinki, Daos Legion finally coming into that area of control. The FASTboys holding a 2-1-1, I should say, around Potato Hill. Lakonostra Power holding one of the 2 compounds between Pochinki and School, whilst the other one claimed by the side of ScrimFarm, still split around Gatka as the Unicorns, and a lot of teams, GSG Europe and Panda, likes dropping to the bottom left side of the map, both now rotating.
Yeah, you see just a congestion that will come out around this Pochinki area. Potato Hill would be BeMyLoot, and the side of FASTboys will be potentially one of these fights that break out. And again, keep in mind the position actually down in Pochinki with 4 Romanian men. They actually hold this strong high ground, not only overlooking Pochinki, but they see all of these rotations coming around them. They're going to have that vision for later in the game when it pops onto that phase 2. Because with teams just repositioning now, that is the optimal time to get really a scope of where these teams are actually moving to.
A little bit of a clash between the Unicorns and GSG Europe on rotation. Lau get pushed away, and Ket says we want to take this kill, and the solo will get pushed right now. Unicorns flowing into pinch Lau. He's trying to scout, but he's just getting pinched. The rest of the team is nowhere close to support, but I might be wrong. They're now sending in with the car. GSG may be able to take this one.
GSG Lau tries to find a 1-for-1 trade, goes so low. There's managed to keep himself alive, and here comes the cavalry. A double knock-up as Aegon goes down as well. Ked and Savage may be regressing that one, as Ked now on his own, all alone here on the second floor. Has to hold off to support a GSG as they beat themselves downstairs. They will find potentially one here as Ked does get one back onto Lau just to finish him off. The grenade goes onto Savage to shut him up for now, as it will now be GSG repositioning. Kamara did go down. They're going to maybe reset here. A second grenade goes through the smoke, trying to catch one out.
Nice!
That grenade is going inside, but it will be GSG to catch out a double as Ked will finally go down. As Phoenix will keep himself alive, tries to pull off this quick revive as Savage as well, still in his other building as Adelita Kamara. Still on the other side, Savage gets popped, and that will be their outside support gone. And the Phoenix also as well, dead. Ked takes the first aid kit, but it's a 3v1, my friend. You are down for the count, if not a miracle play. Ked will fall, and so will the Unicorn and hopes, dreams in this final game.
Oh my god! Lau! You look at him, he's dead right now, but he did all the work. The scout, the mastermind, the patience from this man. the beast, baiting the full team of unicorns, making unicorns feel the pain from the over-aggression, forcing them to come in here, baiting them into that, and GSG almost lost it, right? They pulled up on one side, but they eliminated the side threat across the way. On that other building, Savagix went down, and then that was Lau just buying them so much time. We almost forgot to look at the new circle as we have some clash in those two compounds. I just forgot to breathe. I almost choked myself. The Highland will take over for this bit.
Man, because BeMyLoot here, they are not done yet. They want to try take some revenge against the Lakonostra, but not Ice. It will be the main squad here as Bertie will go down, and now his Hunter keeps himself alive. Prones down on the outside of the window. Might pull a sneaky, throw a grenade in if he has one, but does not just yet. Is Noya and Shadow on the other side. The grenade almost pops down with a vehicle. Vama 69, but keeps himself with a sliver. ScrimFarm from behind though. Comes the third party. The grenade here for BeMyLoot almost rebounds onto their teammate, but just misses for now. It will be ScrimFarm, the 2-2 split, 2 inside, 2 out. Lakonostra Power will be Hunter falling down inside. Just not enough time to reposition. They get caught out and die out of this final game. But BeMyLoot, they don't want any of this here, because you see them retreating one building, maybe looking to take a second. They've got the vehicles behind. They just need to survive.
ScrimFarm timed this so well, and Unique will spray it so good, and they will take this one. Now a 4v2, they're going to orchestrate this one. Unique pushing up from the side, slowly taking up, but will get knocked with the nade.
That will buy them time. The grenade almost finds a second though onto Bertie, but they will come up first. A second grenade though from Noya, just shutting down the aggression of ScrimFarm. Is now icy when Noya have to survive. Also make that a double for Noya on that second grenade as they take down the previous grenaded member of ScrimFarm. It's now it be BeMyLoot, losing one on Bertie again as he falls down, trying to go for the front line flank. And now it will be Shadow and Noya retreating back over the wall. They reset. So does ScrimFarm. Breathe right now as we start to fight this once again.
Oh my god. That punishment onto Bertie is just immense. It's so important. I think Bertie was a bit too aggressive there. But speaking of third party, ScrimFarm's going for a wide one, and this Panda is from behind, but another knock comes through onto Shadow.
And that will almost be Kearns unless Noya has more grenades in his arsenal just to chuck down on the remaining members of Icy. And Icy and Spectre inside. Noya inside the building too, looking to try keep himself alive. Keeps it over the stairs. Now repositioning here as Hate also in the meanwhile take the fight onto STK themselves. But this fight's still continuing. Noya holding up in the corner, keeping himself alive. Now the pre-fire comes out through the window, but it won't be enough. And Noya now trying to keep himself alive, but it comes back from the die. This is side of the stairs, as it will just be the return. And BeMyLoot, they take the revive. They come up the staircase. Look behind you, for you be tripped back down the stairs. And BeMyLoot just take a double.
Holy crap, man. This game tonight, the pro players showing you how to hold down a compound when it seems like you don't have an edge. All these people getting pushed solo will orchestrate and put through that comms effectively to orchestrate and execute those push with those support coming in. BeMyLoot pins it and reverse cammed and trap the side of ScrimFarm as they take them out at 10th position. Round 3, baby, now in the area is Pandas. Oh my
just
god.
Keep them coming, just keep the kills. We're rolling up. We're gonna pull a 4 RM in game number 4. We'll show you how it's done. Panda now looking to try their luck. Fingers on buzzers. Are Panda ready to try take down the trio of BeMyLoot who have just obliterated through anyone it comes around the school compound, and they will also be even more under threat by that zone as it moves hard north, playing nasty towards Rozhok and Yasnaya.
I'll tell you where Panda's going to go. They are going to take one of these compounds between the school apartments and Yasnaya. I think they are going to send 1 or 2 there with 1 or 2 on Rozhok Hill, and those compounds are so popular because of the multiple angle 360 views and choke spots. The earlier they can get there, the better it is. And so BeMyLoot will be looting up some of those boxes that they've gotten the past 5 minutes and now moving in. And same for a lot of these teams that just 20 seconds ago, no teams were in there. And now they're just all sending it. Tier 1 play, this is it. And this is Sushi saying otherwise they want a fight before rotating.
Gets diced by the side of Hate Gaming, and Dexter looking to try and make a double return. Can he find a triple onto Shifu? Not quite yet, but Dexter will go down, shut down for the side of 4RM and their 2 members on the flank side, because the 2 are already in the zone, and they play that map safe. But they do lose 2 in the process. Hate also needs to make a way in the zone, but it looks dicey on their route in. Bloodline also with the side of Entropiq here move their way in from the south as well, alongside FASTboys.
Look at GSG.
Though.
They are these tonight, man. This game 4, just teams taking the chance to third party, noticing there's a fight breaking and just crashing. Not even in the circle, 33 seconds to go, and GSG wants to crash this one against Hate Gaming. Will set up a trap as well, and Alito with the high ground. Kamara now sending into push Jar Jar.
And Alito doesn't quite take down Shifu. They actually split here, but we know exactly their positioning. The grenade goes over to Shifu, almost takes him down just slightly wide. Jar Jar will fall down to the 2 versus 1 situation. Kamara will not take the grenade trap to the face. And Shifu now only the solo here to try to keep himself alive, but he finds one back onto Kamara, and Levi will now have to be slightly more careful in that one. As Andaluso going for the flank there, they know their positioning. The smoke comes up, another grenade comes in and finds Shifu. Boom goes the dynamite, and Shifu will be out of the game. And now you see inside the zone, though, that's where the action is going to happen, because you see FASTboys need to be fast on this one.
Oh my god, and FASTboys, we haven't seen them quite enough this game, and they would just come into this clash with one of the top squads. It's going to be the third party once again!
Look at this trio action right now. Bloodline just gets spilled all of their blood onto the ground as they just pop out of game. And now we see CRW also getting popped inside the building. But it will be a 1-for-1 trade, as it will be obviously Entropiq needing to hold off for now. Revive. Dale holding off 2 on the flank side. Jury and Batoni will find Dale, but not for a 1-for-1 trade. As Newick now coming in for support on the other side. A 2-2 split as Dale will be first is down. 2 versus 4, and FASTboys, they keep all players alive for now.
Ooh, that is just really sweet one. They're using those broken walls here, but that is my problem right now. If some teams want to come through here, it might be third party upon third party, but FASTboys hold that one still. Of course, we saw Bloodline going down, and but just look at that map. Look at GSG now coming in, and look at this compound actually in the circle. One of the strongest one, although it's on the southern side, may push some teams for that rotation, and we may see another team clashing into this compound.
We may see the super party yet, Tarzan, but it is FASTboys full health, ready to go back at it for round 2 of this fight in this compound at least. And it will be the side of Entropiq here to try keep themselves alive, albeit at that man disadvantage. 1-1-1 split along those roads. We knew it, this core player to hold off Batoni and Jury as CLW gets caught on the flank side. As it now will be Luffy as well, the only player on that side. Now the weakness comes up. Now the advantage comes to the side of Entropiq as Luffy now tries to pull the 1 versus 1 behind the car, but Sans takes a pre-fire. They reload. Reset is now Entropiq come in for the 2 versus 2. Batoni also coming in for the flank side. Can he find it? No, he won't. Luffy goes underneath the wall between the 2 cars for now. Luffy in a hard place. So as they lose their 1 member who was knocked down. CLW out of the game. Sans backfire now coming in, but just can't find him. The wall blocks the fire. Is Batoni now from the 2nd floor looking to try pick them off. Above the wall line of sight is Sans will fall. Backfire almost coming down. The door gets shut, and FASTboys keep themselves alive.
And look at GSG is now in here to repeat what they've done before. Look at Backfire just really feeling the problem of that aggression. FASTboys getting lasered by Levi from the back.
You see Jury all the meanwhile just unable to help in this fight, though, as Newick just comes in here, though. You say the fourth team, GSG, has arrived once again, looking to repeat what they just pulled on to the Unicorns, as Jury has to just keep himself quiet for now. Here's the vehicles coming in. Praise to goodness that he will survive more than he will for the side of Entropiq, because now the fight resets. 3 members of GSG, now only 2 for the side of Entropiq, and Jury, the solo for FASTboys.
Dude, GSG had 2 of those like third-party fights. No, one was well orchestrated reverse pinch unicorns, as you said, and then the third party earlier, they've got so much confidence. 8 kills right now. Although they've lost Lau, he's just sitting in the backseat trying to dictate the pace of the game by his analytical skills. Meanwhile, Panda killed quite a full team of BeMyLoot, holding down this J compound, and the other compound, Rosqua, haven't seen them quite enough, and they are actually in a circle with a good spot, and Rana and Aimbot same, having a bit of a spot, and the BeMyLoot squad down to that one last player. 7 teams, 17 players. That is quite crazy.
The backfire gets sniped, and that will be now the side of Entropiq in trouble, as well as all of these teams in trouble, because as Zone in Phase 5 did move away from all 3 squads, and it will now be Jury here in his own. Levi and Andalito coming in, knock, knock, knock. They say his fat Jury will have to keep himself alive. Jury hiding in the second floor, waiting to try and free fire up the stairs, but misses his chance, and now he's in real danger because Jury has to run out bullets at the door, and now they come in, the 2 versus 1, flushes out the side of FASTboys from the game, as well as also now looking to turn their head onto the side of Newick. The solo here as Kamara has all the meanwhile pushed into this third fight now for them, as Newick behind the buggy, has to be careful he doesn't get blown up. Levi on the other side goes down, snaking, trying to keep himself alive. It won't be for long, as he also gets popped into the ground for his final match of the day. And GSG, they are in trouble though, all the meanwhile, because look at their position versus the rest. The strongest position right now, going over to Panda.
I don't think GSG is in immense trouble just by the positions, but it's about what Rosqua is trying to do now. That crazy split, trying to control the eastern half of this next phase circle, might be the problem for GSG. But Zankis really need to play very patiently, knowing the best time to strike and knowing how to use the positions of his teammates as well. So just 40s remaining as he opens fire and will push Endelito towards the eastern edge. They don't have a spot yet. GSG still need to move. Zankis done what he has to and now trying to retreat, but getting sprayed down.
He's like, no, guys, I need to come back right now. I don't like that scout split. I know what GSG are capable of. And Kamara pulls up behind a tree, and now does the side of Roz lose their position. And RozAvlea will have to be so careful, as they can't also cross that road. For Panda being on the other side within their own compound here. Sandkiz now moves round to try get a better position over on this hill. Tries to peek potentially over onto Levi's. Andalito comes over for the secondary support. Kamara now the solo player on their 2-1 split.
Oh my god, and the circle goes to Panda on the J compound, making it so hard for these teams to escape. Of course, there might be a little bit of grounds to play on the northern side for side of Ross with that position as well, but it will be like training ground. Shooting targets for Panda, looking on at these teams still yet to find a spot in the circle.
Panda, looking to try do what 4RM do. All the meanwhile, though, 4RM still alive here, 7 kills. They have lost 2, of course, earlier on. Sushi and Dexter did get caught out in an earlier rotation, and so does Linley get popped. And now comes the time that you see 4RM making their assault in. All the miles Sankis trying to hold off the full squad of GSG. Comes back down, as it will be GSG losing 1 again, as Levi Kamara also making it a second. Now you see also another with Putin rotating in to the rest of the squad on side of Panda. Panda now in trouble here as they get fired upon. Putin almost goes down. The grenade maybe will keep him take him down fully, but Ruster all the while on the other side did get knocked. Panda trying to reset this fight, trying to keep themselves alive, fully aware, I'm sure, that 4 Romanian men are also coming in from the back door.
Oh my god, they won the strongest compounds. Rosquas under immense pressure, last one standing, and they gave GSG Europe the breathing room to rotate behind them.
Look at the side of 4RM. Look at GSG coming in. The sandwich of Usu will not be long anymore for this world. Comes the Panda train. The Linyi falls. Will first fall as well. No, they will not. They come back under. But now with that knock, that buys both 4RM and also GSG time to come and apply pressure. GSG will surely hope 4RM here. Understanding that there may only be 3 members of first alongside the rest of Panda, there will be a third squad. You see T now moving back to the side of 4RM. First, looking to try take them down with the help of their teammate Linyi and Katu coming round to that 4-man pressure onto 4RM. Inbot goes down. Varna makes the double. And now it will be GSG surely gate kept out of this zone, out of hopes by that road, and it will be Panda in control of this phase 7, and it's the game.
I think it will be a really hard one for GSG to like. They need to rely on Panda to screw up, and we just need to see how they play this. Panda for sure is an aggressive team as they continue to shoot at GSG, but good use of smoke there will give them the position to make it to the next cover.
They're desperate to try take this down, but the grenades do rain down, and so do the Molotovs. Gonna pick Levi up, and he's gonna be burnt to a crisp as Andalito falls down as well. And that will just be the game coming to a simmer as we see Pandas take that final chicken dinner. Not only the chicken dinner, but also with 11 kills.
Ooh, I'm loving that one. I love casting, mate. I haven't even said it publicly before, but thank you so much, guys, for joining us and all the support through the past 2 months. I can't believe the crazy ride that I had to get me to where I am today. I can't even... There will be more interesting ones, and I can't say it all at the moment, but it's games like this with a guy and a man like Highland Wolf that gives me that hype. And this is it. This type of game. Panda, the dominance, the rotations, and the hold down, compound defense, everything. Of course, with zone luck as well. And they take it though. Sometimes the gods of PUBG give it to you and you can't take it. But they took this kill, this 11 kill chicken dinner. And that is just so sweet. And same for GSU. I'm so hyped for them. Okay, I've seen so much of their play, sometimes choking mid-game, but those were clean 3 times of a third party. Maybe the 4th one were coming towards the end as they took that 2nd place with 11 kills. And for Romanian Men, played it slow, waited for that rotation. I thought they will be gate kept, but the attention of Pandas were drifted away by Ross, who tried to contest that compound, and so that will give for Romanian Men a chance, and they took that 3rd place with 7 kills. But sucks to be Ross. They played that positional game. I saw Sankis trying to make things work, as he almost took like double, triple knock there, but just didn't get that kill that they wanted in this game 4. But they would have gotten that 8 positional points though. Side of I've forgotten the name. I'm so sorry. Entropiq is the name. Let's not ever forget, because they've done well this game with 7 kills in the 5th position. The FASTboys with the 6th position and 2 kills. BeMyLoot getting 3rd party. We're going to see so many other victims from these 3rd parties as we go down the list. 4 kills in the 7th position would be the result for this last game tonight for BeMyLoot. Bloodline went out at 8th position. 3rd party, once again, no kills. And gonna pass this on to Highland Wolf because I just am going to be too hyped.
Calm down. Wipes the sweat off the brow as Hate take on 9th place with 6 kills. ScrimFarm in 10th with 4. Will be STK shoot to kill in 11th with 1. Daos Legion take 12th with 2. It will be Lakonostra Power taking the side of 13th position with 1 kill, as well as Unicorns of Love in 14th with 5. see Lakonostra Power ISO in 15th with 0. 16th goes to Mixed Squad. And 17th in the rear, unfortunately, Gaijin just unable to get far in this game.
Oh, wow. I have no words, man. I've got no words. Such a strong showing tonight. And looking for 4 Romanian men. Dude, was that 4 games of top 3? That is crazy. That is crazy.
It might, yes, it was, because they got 3rd position in game number 1 as well. So that is consistency right there.
With the quick maths, I'm just gonna give it to 4 Romanian men. They've won tonight. Haha. I can't say it. I feel like that's the case, right? Because we're talking about Unicorns of Love after the first 2 games, and then the 3rd game a little bit more rough, and this one, I mean, they've got some kill points. We see what they've done at Gatka, but 4 Romanian men somehow, some way, they've made it work tonight.
I think it was close until it wasn't. Tarzan with 4 Romanian men until we saw the Sanhok game. Then we were like, okay,
they were going off.
Take the win.
Dexter with 10 kills as well. So in positional points and kill points, this would probably be one of the best nights for Romanian men in this in these weeks. And I haven't watched all of it. I mean, they play probably every day, but this is deserved, well deserved. Win. I'm just gonna call it now. I'm not going to apologize. Sorry, Kareem. Sorry, Hayes. Sorry, everyone. I'm not sorry. They've been playing so well, and we'll just give that one to them, and every team can learn from each other, and I'll try my best to provide the information through tonight, and that will be what we can do for these players right here, Highland Wolf.
I know, and I tell you what is also even more epic is next week with PMCO. Oh man, I can't wait to see what all of these teams can do, because if it's going to be anything like that last game in particular, never mind just all of these games in general, oh my goodness.
I would need honey water.
I'm going to be binging PUBG next week. That's where I'll be.
Happily, we'll do that happily as well. And together, as we make a wrap to tonight, and that was such a fun one. Thank you so much all for watching, and yes, I am finally, speaking of socials, I know Highland was going to get on that one. I will start it myself, very proudly presenting to all of you. I've now got an Instagram account, so it's Professor_Tarzan. You can follow me over there. Of course, for Highland Wolf, you can find him on Twitter as well. And of course, if you like tonight's action and commentary, do consider dropping a like and a subscription. That will mean the world to me. And yeah, just there's not much more for me to say. I'm just going to be passing that over to the lovely Jake.
Gracias, senor. Once again, as we obviously close out the night here. Obviously, thank you, of course, to Hate Gaming for organising the scrims and gathering all of these teams as usual. Should say our socials are obviously on Instagram for yourself, Tarzan, for myself on Twitter, HighlandWolf_. And as I say, we're just looking forward now to PMCO and looking what these teams can do. And good luck to every single one of these teams. And wish you guys an absolutely wonderful Saturday evening, the rest of it, and a Sunday morning and Sunday overall. Have a good weekend, guys.
And that's us checking out. Have a good one. Take care and goodbye.